Yes, that's the sound of the King Mighty Pat there, out of Newtown by way of Canary, now reside in the Virgin Islands there, St. Croix to be exact. I'm an alien in my country. Lovely rhythm there from the man Malvern Gums of the Spectrum Band in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. I'm DJ Morrishaw, and I'm coming to you live and direct from my bunker here in the Republic of St. Paul, St. Kitts. Yes, you heard it right. I'm still here in the Republic of St. Paul, St. Kitts. And this evening, we have a special program for you. This evening, the 8th of November, marks our 3rd anniversary, 3 years since this program started back in my quarantine there at the Royal St. Christopher Hotel on November 8, 2020. Got locked down by Prime Minister Timothy Harris. So I got to thank him for giving me the opportunity to circumvent and make something of myself while in quarantine lockdown for 14 days. So, yeah, also make me feel like an alien in this country, you know. So at this point in time, I'm going to drop another track here while I get myself set up and organized. I want to big up my engineer there, Brother Ike, for accommodating me over the past 3 years, and I keep things rolling here in the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. We'll be saying a good evening and good afternoon to a few of the folks, good night to some of the folks shortly. But before we get into the greetings, let me organize myself, set things right, and get ready for the bounce. So this one is coming from my partner there, the King Socrates. This is one of the tracks that I really appreciate lyrically, musically from Socrates. This one is called Enemy of the State. So that's what Timothy made me back in those days, 3 years ago. I was treated like the enemy of the state. So take a listen.
Enemy. I'm not the enemy. Are you the enemy? Who is the? Are you the enemy? I'm not the enemy. Who's the enemy? Educator, your historian, the unpaid advisor to government and opposition. I bring you songs of levity, party and social commentary. In other lands, I am a cultural icon, but due to my proclivity to expose the ills of my country, they designate me an enemy of the state. But it's my love for country that make me question the things I see going wrong. Like the crime rate that keep on going up, that the PM says going down. Is he take a corrupt tip-off cop and made him the deputy? Between he and Edme, the police force can function effectively. Police used to work for 8 hours straight and went home to take a rest. Now this 4 hours on, 4 hours off, got the force in a mess. Is you who handcuff the police? Now they can't control the crime rate. So don't call me an enemy of the state. Anyone who critique your policies, you want their head on a plate. So tell me who's the real enemy of the state. I'm not the enemy. Are you the enemy? Who's the enemy? Tell me. I'm not the enemy. Are you the enemy? Who's the enemy? They tell me tourism is the lifeblood of the country. Still we keep increasing the budget to that ministry. But the more we spend on that industry, is the less result we do see. Now the whole country, it seems, waiting desperately till Marriott open its doors. 40,000 plus on pause. Can one hotel save us from catching hell? Oh well, what is my love for country that made me question the deal they gave Royal P? A $400 million hotel with a own electricity. If we upgraded we power plant, they would buy the current from we. $20 million or more yearly to sweeten the treasury. Then they tell me both are resigning, he not taking another turn. I said a jump and prance as a good riddance, for there's hope for tourism. His performance in that industry got hotel is desperate, yet he treats me like an enemy of the state. From 500 ships in 95, now 158. So tell me who's the real enemy of the state?
Enemy.
Are you the enemy? I'm not the enemy. Who's the enemy? Are you the enemy? Minister of Justice, oh, can you tell me why Angela Innes is not paid what the courts decree? When she was making her contributions, you were nowhere to be found. Now she's squanting while you're buying up condominium. You also got Concy Mitchum, our first female parliamentarian, still can't get her gratuity and pension. But it's my love for country that make me question this bold-faced hypocrisy. Your actions are simply degrading the women of this country. I hope that Jess and Henry Martin don't support your policy. But what goes around come back around, no matter whom you may be. These women serve with distinction and should get their due respect. Not scandalize and victimize. To this action I object. Your actions, Mr. AG, means all women must subjugate, and that makes you an enemy of the state. If you taking orders from Dougie, it means you eating from the same plate. So tell me who's the real enemy of the state? Oh, watch me now. I'm not the enemy. Are you the enemy? Who's the enemy? I'm not the enemy. Who is the enemy? Tell me. Almost every weekend is party, party, party. Soon we'll start the campaigning with Berries and Byron Lee, while the bell tolling at SSMC and tourism catching hell. One night at JN Fast costing more than a hotel. Then IMF tell Douglas Plain he must raise taxes again. So who got cocoa in sun? Look out for rain. Yes, it's my love for country that make me question the state of the economy. We could well use the 36 million you spent on the inquiry, and yet you take up the best golf course and sell out to Royal P. Bota was not in favor of that one, and with him I must agree. You are the leader of this country, but to lead effectively, you must listen to suggestions from Calypsonia like me. If I'm the only one in the country to pinpoint your mistake, does that make me an enemy of the state? Sandra Byron no longer boos me, cause she knows I don't deal with hate. So maybe you're the real enemy of the state. The Jew is out on you. And you know what? You ain't come to the circus as yet. We're still waiting. Are you the enemy?
Yeah, Sounds of the Man King Socrates. That one is called Enemy of the State. So I guess Sacro gonna be coming down this year with another bomber like that. You know, once the government change, Sacro got to come with this thing. You know, he support the opposition party, so he's gonna do his stuff. He'll find things to sing about. Like my boy Contender and them guys back in the days used to be punching the opposition party. But, you know, once Labour won, Contender came back and said he can't find a thing to sing. But we're going to find something to sing tonight, you know. I see brother Kelvin is online. Kelvin, your camera is perfect there. tap your screen, open your mic. Let's have a quick chit chat before I go into the next phase of the program. Just keep it that way, whatever you're doing. You can hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Are you trying to use a milk can or a soapbox to hold up your camera?
Trying to use a soapbox here.
Well, I got to definitely get you a tripod because I understand you're the enemy of the state over in Nevis.
Well, you know how you do. You know how you do.
So
Somebody has to be the enemy.
all right. Well, we're going to be having some guests coming in tonight, but I invited you here that we could have a little chit chat about Nevis. Prime Minister Joe should be joining us at some point. So once Prime Minister Joe comes online, we're going to give him an opportunity to do his thing, and then we come back to our chit chat. So I'm just giving you a heads up that we might have a break, a pause in the chat. So don't run tonight. I know last week you had to go to wedding and party and funeral. Me and they had funeral them time of the night, but thanks for taking the time out. We're gonna go straight into Dwyer's commentary for this evening, so that when we come back online, we go straight into the conversation. So just stand by for me. By the way, I saw your boy Carlisle earlier at Stanley Frank's funeral. So I don't think he can maybe join us this evening, but it was nice seeing brother Carlisle Powell. He looking great. He seemed like the Mark flu, Brantley flu, wherever you all give him their name, so he getting over it. So that's good. It was not permanent damage. So stand by for my boy there, Dwyer Astafan commentary for today.
Greetings. There has been some discussion on the contracts to demolish the eastern and western campuses of the Bastia High School. For the eastern campus, I'm told that the Public Works Department's estimate for the job was $2.332 million, and that the contract was awarded to a company named St. Kitts Great Estate Limited, which had put in a bid of $2.013 million. I think the highest bid came at about $2.52 million and the lowest at about $1.2 million. So St. Kitts Great Estate Limited at $2.013 million got the contract, I am told. That's for the Eastern Campus. Now what follows here is not and must not be interpreted to be an attack on anybody's integrity. What we are looking at here are transactions in the public sector, transactions about which we, the members of the public, the taxpayers of this country, need to be assured that we are fully and properly informed as to substance and process. And these are transactions which we must be 100% convinced are executed at the highest level of efficiency and transparency. And our political leaders themselves declared ardent promoters of transparency and good governance. Indeed, they flew into office on the wings of transparency and good governance. They should welcome this new era of an inquiring, even demanding public. After all, it's our money, our resources, our school, our children who will be going there to be trained, educated, and developed for the future of this nation. Our beloved teachers who will go there diligently to educate and elevate our children and through them, our nation. What was the reasoning of the authorities when they chose St. Kitts Great Estate Limited to do the contract? Did the government undertake a due diligence exercise on all of the tenderers? Did that due diligence address matters such as capital sufficiency, equipment, personnel, experience, expertise, etc., to prove their ability to perform the contract? Did the due diligence process include getting documentation to convince the government that there would be no financial, legal, or other obstacles or restraints or impediments in the way of these contractors in the performance of the contract? Did the due diligence include checking to see if any of the contractors or their owners and or officials or are in any way in difficulties with the government or social security? Are they registered with social security? Are they up to date in their contributions and so forth? And the due diligence needs to ask the question if these people are in good standing with SCELEC, with the Water Department, Inland Revenue, or any other state agency or department. And are there any outstanding court judgments against them? Had any of them who had been awarded contracts earlier performed unsatisfactorily to the point where reasonably and fairly they're not deserving of a government contract? Now, these are a lot of questions. And you remember Jimmy Clifton's song said that there are more questions than answers. But that is unfortunate, because there should be an answer for just about every question posed to public officials and authorities insofar as the governance of a country is concerned, save and except where national security and other sensitivities are involved. Did the tender board ascertain which of the contractors, if any, could sign a performance bond on this $2 million plus contract? Did the tenders board check to see if any owners or other persons interested in these firms are or were public servants, or the more so high-level government civil servants, in order to avoid the potential for conflict of interest or the perception of conflict of interest? The company which won the bid was registered 10 years ago, in 2013, with an authorized capital of 100,000 ordinary shares of $1 each. As at 31st March 2023, 30 shares had been issued. In May of this year, one person resigned as a director and handed in her 10 shares to another person who also replaced her as a director. And on that same day, the company decided to apply for a license to be a general contractor. That's just a few months prior to the tendering. Why did it take the company 10 years before deciding to apply for a contractor's license? Again, not accusing, not attacking, not questioning integrity, but just asking, can one presume reasonably that this company does not have a track record in the field of contracting, whether in relation to demolition or otherwise? If so, what is the rationale or justification for that company getting the $2 million plus contract to demolish the eastern campus of the Bastia High School? Let me repeat here. Did the government undertake an exhaustive examination to assure itself that this little-known company, new to the game insofar as being a licensed contractor is concerned, possessed the means to perform this $2 million plus government contract? Let me repeat, I'm not attacking or impugning anybody related to this company or to the process or projects which we are discussing. And I am not revealing any information that is not already in the public domain. I'm simply, sincerely, and with nothing but honorable and altruistic intentions, sharing with you observations which I think all responsible and self-respecting citizens should be interested in. Meanwhile, tendering also took place for the demolition of the western campus of the BHS, the Bastia High School. I'm told that the public works estimate was $2.863 million, and that Rock and Dirt, with a bid of $2.53 million, won the contract. And the questions that were asked in relation to the eastern campus are, where applicable, asked now. So is what the government doing here the best way to spend $5 million of your money? Is the money reaching the right people and enough people? Is this the most efficient, reasonable, and just way to go? Are the contractors, the truckers, and so forth, and the citizens of this country getting the best bang for their buck? Have we cleaned up the procurement process, or are we waiting for better legislation? If the latter, don't we know that good legislation is meaningless if it is not administered transparently and justly? And similarly, bad legislation can never be used as an excuse for bad-mindedness. It is more the character of the people that determines right and wrong than what is written in law and regulations and policy. Now I want to go back to the water system project that we discussed before in a prior commentary. Out of an abundance of caution, it would be very useful if the government would advise us as to the details of that contract and the related contract to purchase the cisterns and other materials. And we want the information on the parties to that supply contract. This is government money that is being used. So any explanation that revolves around this being a private contract, that is the contract for the supplies, using our money, will not wash with me. And it should not wash with you either. I cannot overemphasize the importance of freedom of information and the sacred commitment made by the present administration to provide the highest level of good governance and accountability to the people of this country, and to project the image regionally and globally of a country that is run on the strong foundation of good governance, transparency, accountability. And as we discuss projects, what's the latest on these smart houses? Does the gentleman, I think he's a Trini gentleman, have the means to deliver on this contract? If so, we need to know. And as we reflect on contracts and projects, I recently heard Minister Convis Maynard say that discussions for a 35 megawatt renewable energy project were at an advanced stage. If he is referring to the same La Clanche deal that the former administration disrespected and insulted this country with, then he and his colleagues are going to face some pushback. The people of this land need and demand the assurance that they, the people, will hold substantial ownership in this project. And there's every good and just reason to make sure that that happens. And if it is true that the Swiss people agreed to come down from $70+ million to about half of that, then why on earth are we doing business with them at all? Why would they have charged or costed this thing at $70 million plus in the first place, and now willing to jump down to almost half of that? It would be an abomination if the treachery of the past might be carried into the future. Perhaps the minister will take some time to tell us about this. We want to know what is in this solar project for the people of this country, other than them paying for electricity and in the process enriching and empowering a struggling Swiss company and God knows who else, empowering others but not themselves. The colonial paradigm that we must be consumers and employees but not providers and owners in our own land must be rejected forever, robustly and mightily. And that colonial paradigm succeeds only if there is a collusion between foreign exploiters and local traitors. And as I end, still speaking of good governance and transparency, a surgical examination needs to be launched into the complaints about years-long stealing and other corruption in government entities such as statutory corporations, security agencies, revenue agencies, and across the board, and about the slackness and the extent of underproductivity in the public sector, with people going and coming as the like, not putting in their daily work that they're being paid for by the people, and so on and so on. Cleaning up is urgently needed. I wish respectfully to remind the present administration that they hold 6 of 11 seats, a razor-thin majority, and failure to deliver on their promise to clean up this country, a promise which we the voters accepted and entered into a contract with them, offer, promise, and acceptance of the promise. Instead of leading us to El Dorado, they could cause us to return to the days of El Diablo if the cleaning up is not going to proceed urgently and intensely. My young friend Dr. Drew will remember that I spoke out and declared that after Robert Bradshaw, he could be the next great and consequential leader of this country. And I'm calling on him, for the sake of the nation and for the sake of his own legacy as the leader of the country, to ensure that we are led to El Dorado and not back to El Diablo.
Yeah, that's Brother Dwyer Astafan commentary for today, November 8th, 2023. Brother Daly, you know the drill. New listeners are online weekly. The program is advancing. So a quick synopsis of who is Dr. Daly, and you can give your comments and Dwyer commentary for today.
All right. Well, I am Kelvin Daly. from Nevis. I hold a PhD in animal science. I taught at Charleston Secondary. I was a permanent secretary for agriculture. I also headed CFPC as a president 2013, 2016. I am now retired and trying to make a contribution to the people of Nevis through political commentary, activism, etc., etc., etc.
All right, Brother Daly, and that's in a nutshell.
That's it.
Any views on Dwyer commentary today?
Well, I particularly, the last couple of instances of he speaking about the water tanks and procurement and those kind of things, I mean, he's right on target. I did not particularly like this first part where he's throwing a stone and then still pulling it back. You know, if he knows something about the company that got the contract to do part of the demolition, then he needs to say it. Rather than making innuendos or causing dispersions and casting dispersions, I mean, these can be hurtful to not only this particular project for these people, but for future projects. If he knows something that the persons have not been paying Social Security, that they are untoward, a corrupt company, or they're not deserving of it, or he knows that these are political affiliates of the Labour Party that got the contract, then he needs to say it. But don't impugn people by simply putting innuendos into the conversation. It's beneath what he's doing or attempting to do. He needs to be fair and balanced in his presentation and not just throw stones and hide his hands. I don't like the fact that he's putting all this long disclaimer that he has no ill will against these people who won the contract. But at the same time, he's putting all sorts of, throwing all kind of kerosene in the fire of suspicion, etc. And so I didn't appreciate that in particular. But the other parts are quite germane, quite on track. And so I applaud him for that.
I follow your comments, and again, like I said, over the past couple of weeks, I enjoyed Dwyer's commentary and he's hitting some points, but I also go back to what you just spoke on, because in our little society here of St. Kitts Nevis, people love confusion. They love to, your mic is closed. They love to run with nigger business and take a little small peg, a little small rock, and make it into a big mountain. And if the current system, the people who's responsible for procurement not following the rules, and he know that for a fact, talk about it.
Exactly.
You understand? Because I am of the view, the Prime Minister that I speak to whenever I do get an opportunity to speak to him, he wants things to be done correctly. He wants everybody to be treated fairly. He wants people to be respected. So if people out there knowing that there are people in these various offices doing things wrong, speak about it. Because
another thing, Jeffrey, is the fact that he admitted that the contracts or the tenders would have gone to a tenders board.
Yeah.
The tenders board isolate the ministers from the actual operations of actual, I should say, selection of those contractors. So the tenders board, you have to give them credit. You have to say, listen, this board was properly constituted. They would be manned by people who know in the industry what is required. They had a benchmark of what Public Works would have determined to be a fair figure. The company that won the bid came in very close to that fair figure from Public Works. And so you have the idea that somehow the process itself and the idea of the tenders board is then impugning the integrity of the tenders board by saying they ask all of these questions. If he knew they didn't ask those questions, then say it.
Correct.
Say it.
And how would he know if he's not in the meeting?
Exactly. You know, I don't like this idea that, you know, you're just being a good citizen by throwing out all these accusations, not even accusations, innuendos, and hope for something, you know, not to be true, while you're saying it and thinking that it's true. That is not good.
Okay. Thanks for your comments, sir. Well received. I'm going to be dropping a clip in a bit of a broadcast that you made via your Facebook page. We'll have a conversation and that you could give us some update. But
Okay.
before I do that, let me just say good evening to some of our early viewers online. As you know, I cannot call everybody because the thread is filled.
I was wondering, Jeffrey, I was wondering whether you're going to be on New York time, which is your bigger audience, or on local time, because you know they're an hour back now.
Well, the problem is that you cannot really say New York is my bigger audience because this program is being heard worldwide. We got people in the UK, we have people in China, Thailand, we have people in Taiwan, we have people over there in Morocco, as you know, in Africa, Asia, and everybody time is different. So the 1 hour difference, I think by now after 3 years, my listenership would know that if they miss the live, even though a lot of them tell me they prefer to hear me live, but if they do miss the live, they can go back and look at it on YouTube or Facebook. So I apologize in advance now that you remind me to the folks in New York that I had to start an hour early your time because 6 o'clock in St. Kitts Nevis is 5 o'clock in New York. But I always try to stick with the St. Kitts Nevis time. Reason being, when this program started, it was to deal with the issues on St. Kitts Nevis. And I appreciate the high demand in the diaspora, people that log on and listen from the other islands, other countries, other states, other cities. We appreciate you. So 6 o'clock every time, Mr. Daly, locally. We stay local. Cool. We buy local, we stay local. Good evening to Sister Diane Flanders, Visha Stapleton, Curtis Brown, Esther Mark. As a matter of fact, this one, Esther Idita Markman, is in the UK. She's in someplace in London. Sandra Griffin, David, and others online, Clayton Davis, Bertram Farrell, Veronica Roberts. Good evening, Brenda Morgan, Brother Elvis Williams, aka the King Freddie, Sister Hazel Claxton, Livingston Brown there in the Virgin Islands, Carol Liebert, Ward, how are you doing? Armin Farrell, Sarah Walters, good evening, Vicky Hazel, Sandra Thompson, Brother Desmond Claxton over there in the Connecticut area, Eman Thaddeus Deposwa over there in the Florida area, Eugene Weeks, Wendell Skelton, Hilla Brown there in the Virgin Islands, Deanne Williams, Eddie Descent. I don't know where in the world Eddie Descent is. One time he's in New York, one time he's in St. Kitts, another time he's, I don't know where he is. My brother there, Morbin Nigel Leader, that's the doctor, one of our former cricketer, wicketkeeper in New York. I don't know which part in the globe he's as well, but welcome to the ride, brother. Mona Davis, Brother Ronald Hendrickson. Good evening. Kenneth Tyson, Monica Saran, Monica Brown, Yvette Powell, Gemini Nisbet, welcome to the ride, Carleen, Clark, what that? Claquette, Shamika Francis, Annette Morton, the white ladies online as well. Sweetness Hudson, good evening, Sister Deidre Smith Farrell, how are you doing? Hope all is well. Tamika Salid, Pearl Francis there in the St. Martin area, Sister Haley Phipps Tennant over there in Scotland, in the UK, Venetian is Lower Deming, Glenn Green, the man Mean Green is online as well. Brother Glendale Herbert, good evening. The man Cabo there in Fountain Nevis. Cabo, don't forget to drop your information online. By the way, Brother Daly, I know I missed you last Saturday, but I went across to Fountain there and had some lovely goat water by Cabo and some corn and fungi with green fig.
Wow.
Right? had a king's meal on Saturday afternoon. And it was amazing that Brother Parry, Honorable Joseph Parry, he come by to spend 5 minutes with me as he had to get back home. But an hour later, Brother Parry was there he forget what time he was leaving. So the leader of the NRP, Janice Daniel Hodge, Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge. A whole bunch of folk was there. It was just amazing, you know. I see Janice laughing, so I asked her what the joke was about. She said, DJ, I want to know how so many people fit inside this small place.
That's really true.
You know, but when the DJ show up, you know, folks coming out, they want to have a good time and they want to chit chat and whatever. So, Brother Daly, good evening, Sister Dorothy Allen, my mascot there. It's 3 years now that we've been hanging in. So, welcome to the ride. Everson Powell, Pauline Swanston, good evening. Catherine France, Keisha Brown. Wow. George Morris over there in the Houston area, someplace in Texas, should be in Florida, but he's all over the globe. Frankie Lawrence, Brother Briscoe there in St. Thomas, George Morris as well, Brian Foster, Jordan Williams, welcome to the ride. Want to big up my boy there, Brother Mikey Slack there in Nevis. You know, Brother Slack, whenever I'm on Nevis, he always provide transportation for me to get around, just as King Miko used to do when he was up to it. So I want to thank Brother Mikey Slack. Sister Moffett been missing for a while. I went to look for her. Her store was still closed. I went to visit Sister Loretta as well over there at the Culturama bar. Her bar was closed as well, but I understand there was a funeral that she might have been attending. So, Sister Loretta, I miss you. I'll be back. We had a team there to really give you a good line, but we'll catch up with you again. Cecile Hapson, Judy Cornelius, Ernest Webb, Gina Tyson, Elizabeth Zickers, good evening. Bonnie Jeffers, Joseph Leibert, Ingrid Daniel Farrell, the dancing commissioner there, Brother Austin Williams. Well, that list, as you can see, I ain't even gone through, nowhere through it as yet, and it's just, so we're gonna keep back to the chat. I want to say good evening to Sister Gwyneth Morrishaw there in the New York area, Sister Beverly Morrishaw, my son dear Jeffroy Jr. in the LA area, Sister Jazette, how you doing? Junior, Adrian, my baby girl, who is now 6. She was 3 years old when I started this program, and she just loved her daddy, and I appreciate baby girl coming very big, very sensible, more sensible than some of all your politicians you have in the Federation here. She give me better conversation than some of them, right? I'm talking about you as in Navy, you know, not them in St. Kitts. I think she's smarter than Timothy too, you know, because if Timothy had sense like baby girl, this program would not have been here. He would have never locked down the DJ because he know the DJ is creative. So by him locking down the DJ in quarantine, created this program, and the program has come back to bite him in the butt, as they would say. So, Brother Daly, let me drop this clip. Let's have a conversation. Let's give an update and continue with the program. Stand by.
10 years ago, in this very same building, the Nevis Island Assembly, legislation was passed by then Premier Vance Emery. It was called the Integrity in Public Life Ordinance 2013. Tomorrow, Monday, an amendment or amendments to that piece of legislation will be tabled by the now Premier, Mark Brantley. And it is a very disturbing piece of legislation to amend the existing already weak legislation of integrity in public life. And to describe it further, I would say there are 2 dangerous elements to it. One, it seeks to have the Premier or give the Premier the power to name what should have been named or who should have been named by the leader of the opposition, the 3rd member of the Integrity in Public Life Commission. There are 3 members. 1 is appointed by the Deputy Governor General, the 2nd by the Premier, and the 3rd should have been appointed by the leader of the opposition. The Premier, having now seen an opportunity to name the 3rd, rather than trying his best to pass legislation in the Federal House to make sure that the Nevis Reformation Party is allowed the opportunity to name the third member, he now sees the opportunity to stack the integrity board with 2 of his members. What does this mean? It means, therefore, that 2/3 of the vote in that body can now be determined by appointees of the Premier. This is totally unacceptable. The second dangerous amendment is the fact that now he's trying to introduce the idea that no longer should persons required to submit documentation to the Integrity Commission, but they no longer have to submit attending documentation to prove what their declarations are saying. For example, bank statements. If you're declaring you have $100,000 in the bank, you expect a bank statement to be attached. What this piece of legislation is seeking to do is to remove that piece of requirement and any other attending requirement from the ministers and other persons reporting, to make sure they don't have to submit any attending document. This does not portend on St. Kitts. On St. Kitts, the legislation speaks to the fact that you have to submit, along with your declaration, all pieces of information required by the Integrity Commission to do investigations. And so those 2 pieces are unacceptable. What the Premier is seeking to do is to simply have those persons reporting or submitting the documentation to the Integrity Commission to swear an oath that what is contained within that reporting document is indeed true. No other institution, no bank, not financial services, no other institution will accept you simply going and saying, I swear what I declare is true. Why is it then the Premier is trying to weaken an already weak piece of legislation meant to protect the people of Nevis, the public of Nevis, from any abuses of government offices or government officers? This bill needs to go back to the drawing board. They need to remove the idea that the Premier has the right, or try to give the Premier the right, to name the third member of the board. Is unacceptable. To have them being able to not submit attending documents to the declarations is unacceptable. The fact that they are already reducing the term from 5 years to 3 years, attempting to reduce the term from 5 years to 3 years, is unacceptable. A term in government is 5 years. Why would you want to shorten the term of the commissioners to 3 years? And halfway through, you can simply remove them if they're doing an investigation that does not favor you. It is unacceptable. This legislation is an abuse of the laws of this country, abuse of office by the Premier and his cabinet. This piece of legislation is should not be tabled in Parliament tomorrow. Our party leader, Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, should mount the largest protest possible on this piece of legislation. It's unacceptable. The drafters were jaded and are jaded by this whole submission. It is regretful, very, very regretful, and a stain on the people of Nevis and the idea of democracy.
People come and whisper foolishness in
Yeah, Brother Daly. Any update on that process?
Well, they would have had the first reading on Monday. I made a recording on Sunday evening in front of the Parliament building, the Nevis Island Assembly. And the pressure, I believe, got to the Premier, got to his cabinet. Popular opinion was outraged by such an attempt by the Premier to subvert our democracy through this piece of these 2 amendments. There's a fourth piece, because I spoke about the fact that he was attempting to shorten the term of the commissioners from 5 to 3 years. He's attempting to name the third member on behalf of the opposition, if you can believe that nonsense. And of course, the fact that he is trying to prevent any attending documentation to support the submission that they made to the commission. He's trying to prevent that from happening. Now, there's a fourth piece, if you can bear with me a moment. Under financial provisions, part 4 of the act or the ordinance, it speaks to two things that are very important. The first is that item 38.1, the commission shall in each year and not later than the 31st of January prepare and forward to the minister a report on the activities of the commission. And part 2 says a copy of the report together with the auditor's report shall be laid before the Nevis Island Assembly. I can't recall any instance or any time in the last 5 years since this commission was seated that any report has been laid before the National Assembly or the Nevis Island Assembly by the Premier of Nevis. None. And they're required by law, Jeffrey, to submit same to the late in Parliament, so all members can examine what was investigated or what was presented or the report from the commission. And they have not done it. The question is why? Because I know for a fact the reports are being generated. And I know for a fact that the reports were handed to the Premier or his government. And the only thing that's missing from this matrix is the fact that they have not laid them before the House as required by law. And so these guys, they cannot be trusted, you know, in any form, in any shape whatsoever. I mean, how can you be thinking that these amendments are okay with the general public? How can you be so bold to believe that you and your ministers are above the law? If you go into a bank, any one of us going to a bank to get a loan, they want to see proof of employment, they want to see IDs, they want to see this, they want to see that. To prove who you are, to prove what you say is true. Job letters, for example. But yet he is trying to say, listen, we are above the law, we make the law, and we can decide if we want to or if we should submit attending documentation to prove what they're saying, to prove what they're declaring. It's an abomination, and it should not happen. Now, they quickly closed Parliament after the first reading. I understand that is their right to do so. All right. Our party leader had no opportunity to say anything whatsoever regarding that first reading and or any other matter that came up in the House that the president of the House says is controversial. I don't know how somebody can be saying, responding to something the ministers say in the minister's statements, minister's remarks, it's controversial. Mr. Brand said they're going to increase the water rates next year. Our party leader got up too, said, yes, well, we recognize and thank the government for looking out for the people of this by digging more wells, but she has a problem with the rates being going up. And before she can finish the sentence, the Madam Speaker said, no, you can't be talking anything controversial. The House is adjourned. You know, this is the kind of nonsense that passes for democracy. Really?
His name is Samuel, please.
Can be. This is Alice in Wonderland kind of nonsense. You know, and we warn against this sort of situation where the Speaker of the House is an employee of Daniel Brantley. She works for the Premier in his law firm. How can you then not see this as a conflict? And her position regarding Janice's response as not being in league with the Premier. Whether it's true or not, the perception is, right, that she will make rulings to make sure that our party leader doesn't get to speak or speak openly while the Premier sits there and sniggers.
So our democracy that we fought so much for in our federal election is under attack in our sister island Nevis, real bad.
And it's under attack from within. There's no worse situation than when a government passes legislation to protect itself from the people. From the people. I mean, we expect and anticipate they're going to, you know, do all kind of tricks to stay in power, you know, at infinitum. But when you try to change legislation, you are beyond criminal enterprise. You are beyond crazy. you know, because that is the last thing you'd want to do. But I'm not surprised because in a desperate government like we have, there's so many skeletons in so many closets. They are trying their best to make sure that when they lose, coming up next election or even before, that they're covered.
No. Dr. Daly, Brother Daly, next election is too far and I walk in and soon, right? And I have a serious problem that while Premier Brantley is the Premier of Nevis, the leader of the opposition in the federal parliament, where they are trying to expand public integrity, freedom of information. They're expanding that under the leadership of Prime Minister Joe. Locally in Nevis, the Premier is trying to reduce the public's access to information.
Exactly. And when you look, I spoke on your program before regarding a key piece of ordinance that was passed since 2018 by the same Premier, Mark Brantley. And it's called the Freedom of Information Act 2018, Ordinance, 2018. He passed it. One of the first pieces of serious legislation that he passed.
You close your mic again. Your mic is closed, Brother Daly. Yeah, it's open.
Yet to get legislation operationalized. And you have to ask the question, why not? Why not, Jeffrey?
You change your mind?
You change your mind?
Mm-hmm.
Why would it change? Listen, people who have things to hide are people who change their mind about every little thing. Why is it I can't go to public works? Or why shouldn't I be able to go to public works as a concerned citizen? To say, listen, that piece of road that we just did from Government Road down to Pennies, I would like to see the contract. I would like to see the details of the contract. I would like to know the cost of it. I should be able to have access to that.
As a citizen, you have that right. You should have that right.
But his excuse, Jeffrey, for not putting legs on this piece of legislation that he has yet to identify a suitable mechanism to dispense the information, or persons charged with dispensing information. How can we, as a modern society, as educated people, accept this rubbish? It is rubbish, pure, unadulterated rubbish. I must be able to go down to the Human Resource Department and say, listen, I understand that the Social Security payments to our workers have not been paid. And ask a question to see documentation that indeed I'm lying. Right? I should be able to go to the legal department, unless it's some kind of top secret. I should be able to ask a question about the government contract. But I can't. I can't, because this Premier has seen it fit to ensure that nobody outside of his cabinet and his upper echelons of his government have access to this information that we as taxpayers are paying them for. How can this be right?
Well, I have made this statement time and time again, Dr. Daly. I think in cabinet, in parliament, I think it's some 11 of them sitting there. I think in St. Kitts, there's a St. Kitts Nevis overall is 50,000+, but I want to believe there's at least 13 to 15,000 people in Nevis. And I really would like to know if the people of Nevis are going to sit back and allow the Premier of Nevis to come down to St. Kitts as the leader of the opposition, agree to put teeth, as you would say, to the legislation in the federal cabinet for Freedom of Information and Public Integrity in Public Life Act, while watering down the one in Nevis, where he should be held accountable, responsible. I really would like to know if you guys in Nevis going to really go along with that.
You raise an interesting conundrum here, because it is real. It is real. And this is one of the things that we have been saying. On what grounds can you dare question anybody in St. Kitts about anything? when your house is up here on fire, when your house is in disarray and disorder, when you can't get anything, you can't learn of anything unless the government tells you. I mean, we're not children. We're adults in this country, charged with the responsibility of making sure this country is properly run. And you can't get that done if you are simply guessing, or you're simply using educated guesses as to what's happening, rather than full disclosure of what's happening. You know, and it's a shame. But there's another important aspect of this too. This whole debacle of not having a leader of the opposition, because by law, just like in St. Kitts, the leader of the opposition here in Nevis heads up the Public Accounts Committee. And that Public Accounts Committee they don't need the freedom of information, they has the power through legislation to ask the right questions as to costing, expenditure, everything having to do with how government operates. And so one of the reasons why he's trying to make sure that the party leader, Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, is not seated as the Public Accounts Committee chair is to prevent exactly this. To prevent exactly this, he has made no attempt whatsoever to try to pass any legislation or any ordinance, or even to say, listen, it has been a custom, or we did it before, you know, there's a precedent to allow the leader of the opposition, even if it's only one member from the dominant party, to, you know, get a senator and therefore, you know, become leader of the opposition. No, he has taken away all the financing. He has made sure that the controversy continues to fester by supporting one over the other in the opposition benches. I mean, it's a deliberate attempt to make sure there is little or no opposition in the parliament in Nevis, or in the parliament of Nevis, and in general society, because people like me, he would love to shut up. He would love to close down 2020 vision. He would love to close you down if he could. And so, you know, we are the voices of the people. We're going to get the beat up. We're going to get the headaches. We're going to get the, you know, the body blows. But we take it with smile, and because we're not, end of the day, we are serving a greater good.
You know, the funny thing is, Brother Daly, my uncle and another lady from Dominica, they always said to me, Jeffroy, you need to spend more time on the ground in St. Kitts Nevis. You'll get a better understanding of what's going on. And I could not get a better piece of advice, because I've been here from September 13th, and I've been in observation mode since the election is over. And when I say observation mode, I'm laser focused on both who is in government, who is in cabinet, and the opposition in what's really going on, right? And it's amazing of how our people of St. Kitts and Nevis are not willing to deal with the issues. They're more into tearing down, no matter what good prospect is there. For example, I listened to the opposition, all of them, Ian Pattis, but Sean Richards, General Powell, Timothy Harris. There is nothing that they could find positive to say of the current administration. But Brother Daly, they was there for 7 years. And when COVID came in 2020, when that tri-party, the Team Unity administration, that was comprised of PAM with leader Sean K. Richards, the CCM, Council on Citizen Movements of Nevis, that led by Premier Mark Brantley, and the PLP with the former Prime Minister Timothy Harris. They had the opportunity to do good for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, you know. But what they did with that opportunity is try to make us slaves again, try to be a dictatorship. And as I go through the situation with a fine-tooth comb, I'm realizing where the problem was, you know, because they all knew that they were not together. There was no unity amongst them. So everybody was doing their own thing. But it appears as though that while Timothy Harris had his plans to form his party and run all 8 candidates and take the government and or just, as they would say, take a coup, take over. He allowed them to run a racket. You know, like when you have the rat in the house going through your cheese and your peanut. You know, he had them there doing their thing, doing as they please. And he came back, you know, and tell us, the general public, that none of them could hold a candle to him. All them thief bad. All of them are big thief. They ain't a small thief.
He took a breakup, just like in a marriage, for all the dirty laundry to come floating to the surface. He took a breakup for us to understand the depth at which we were being fooled and taken advantage of. And he took a breakup to understand how our democracy was being subverted by a bunch of men who were simply.
Your mic is closed again. I don't know why you touch it. What's going on with your hands tonight? You need to keep your hand off your phone.
Yeah, somebody will keep calling, blowing up my phone right now.
Okay.
But you know, there's something else I want to touch on, Jeffrey, with your permission.
No problem.
Yeah, currently the premier is in Dubai on what he terms from his press release an official visit. An official visit can only mean one thing, that he's there on behalf of the NIA, he's representing the NIA. That means that the taxpayers of Nevis are funding that trip. Okay, that's what official means. If I'm mistaken, then they need to change how they describe this trip. As I said, it's an official trip because he'll be speaking at the Henley and Partners CBI conference in Dubai. Okay? Now here's my difficulty. He's not there as a featured speaker representing Nevis. He's there as a panelist, one of many panelists to debate topics. As far as I know, the CBI is being administered through the federal agency, not through Nevis. Nevis has no say in any CBI anything. We are recipients of receipts from CBI, but we are not actively involved in the marketing, promotion, administration, or anything of CBI. So unless that situation has now changed, where Nevis now has his own CBI, how can he then be in Dubai as the premier of Nevis at the CBI conference in Dubai at our taxpayers' money? Right? I saw a letter generated from Daniel Brantley, his law firm, to agents across the world who deal with CBI, advising them that they're open and willing to do business, that they are the preeminent CBI offices here on Nevis and perhaps in the region. So was the premier on this trip to promote his CBI credentials through his law firm, or was he there to represent Nevis? He can't be representing Nevis because Nevis has no CBI office. Nevis has no jurisdiction over CBI. So what is he really there for?
Well, we got to ask.
The sad fact is, when I looked at what it costs for a first-class ticket to Dubai, you're looking between $9,000 to $10,000 US. And then you're talking about hotel room and then per diems. And while there, he's still generating his salary. I mean, these are the kind of things that really gets my goat, because when people meet me on the street, vendors, for example, from Culturama, last year's Culturama, 49, who still have yet to be paid, Jeffrey. And the premier is in a junket to Dubai, talking about CBI that he has no authority to talk about. He's not the foreign minister, but the people in Gingerland and Cotton Ground and Jessops and Bath and whoever else had money invested in being vendors for Culturama still can't get paid. How can this be right? How can this be fair? Can it be?
That's a good question. I'm going to use one of the premier's word. He likes to use the word traverse. Well, as I traverse the streets of Nevis on Saturday, I was surprised of the amount of people that would stop me and say, "I know your face." I said, You know my face from where? From the TV, from Facebook, from YouTube. I said, yes, okay. They say, we like what you're saying. We like what you're doing. I say, you like the content? They say, yes, don't stop. We like how you're handling Brantley. Stick with it. And that message ring out even here in St. Kitts, because I run into a few divisions here in St. Kitts telling me the same thing. But these people got to understand. DJ Morrishaw is one man. DJ Morrishaw cannot change nothing on his own. You, the divisions, have to step it up. I do not know if you're allowed to be a guest at the NIA assembly like they allow here in St. Kitts. But even if you're not allowed to go on the inside, you guys need to get the people outside and let whoever deputy, whoever run the meetings in there now, look, we're not happy with this move. The people must have the right to know what is taking place with our funds, with our tax dollar. No premier or no prime minister has the right to lock down our freedom of information while you're supporting it in the federal cabinet, but you're locking it down in the local assembly. That does not make sense. This just does not make sense. But
it does not. It does not at all. It is a reflection more of the people of Nevis. Because I said this, there are more of us than them.
Yeah.
And if we decide we had enough, if we decide that enough is enough, there's nothing they can do to stop us. But too many people are, of course, nervous, and I understand that, because we know the vindictiveness of this government. We know they will move heaven and earth to get back at you. We know the kind of premier we're dealing with, very, childish and thin skin, and he will do everything to hurt you. All right, so they know that, and I appreciate the fact that persons who will be afraid to come out publicly are still gonna call me privately or meet me or text me and say, listen, keep up the pressure. You're doing a good job. We appreciate you. I mean, somebody has to take the bullet. I've decided it's going to be me. And
yes,
like you,
yes, well,
we're gonna take the bullets. We're gonna take the hit, because in the end, like I said before, we have to make sure we are the voices of the voiceless. We have to make the voice of persons to express themselves through us.
And Brother Daly, what I'm saying though is the amount of people, I'm talking about a great number of people that are meeting me and telling me keep up the good work. These people need to put their boots on the street. Our voices on these social media pages and on radio is not enough to send the message. They need to go across to where these assemblies are and let them know.
I agree, but I don't think, given the context of Nevis, we don't have a history so much of that, especially in NLP for some reason. We don't like confrontation. We don't like aggression. All I can hope that, if we are going to sacrifice those aspects of our character, and so we're not going to protest, or we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, make sure that you are doing something else to make a difference, whether it is encouraging your family or friends, make sure that you do come out to vote, or bring along, try to indoctrinate others into your thinking. A lot of persons, Jeffrey, who were formerly of the CCM, they are my strongest supporters, because they have said to me, listen, I followed this man for a long time, but there came a point where I stopped believing in him because of his actions, or non-action, I should say, right? And I appreciate those people very, very much, because they're genuine. They have everything to lose, because we all know that if you go against the premier, especially coming from a CCM organization, it's like you committed the cardinal sin. You understand? And therefore, he takes it out on you whatever way he can.
Okay, Brother Daly, it's now what? 3 minutes after 7, and I don't want to lose time. I was waiting to see if the Prime Minister going to join at 7 before I get into the other aspect of the program. I haven't seen him online as yet. So I'm going to go straight into the other side of the program. And once he comes online, I will just cut and bring him in. But my concern is that, like I said, tonight marked the 3rd anniversary of this program. And one of the things that we have to live with and understand is the non-caring prime minister that we had 7 years ago. Why I said the non-caring prime minister? Up until the elections of 2020, I could have manfully messaged Timothy Harris and I would get a response. I could have manfully called Timothy Harris and get a response. But following election 2020, where he figured he don't have any need for people like me, and the borders was about to open for the Federation after COVID, I reached out to the Prime Minister. And at that point, he answered his phone. And I explained to him that I understand the borders will be open on the 31st of October, and I'll be on the first international flight into the Federation. What I wanted to know, I'm hearing about the quarantine process, and I'm hearing about all their big plans, which I did not have confidence in, but when they presented it, it sounded good. I wanted to see it for myself. And I explained to him that there's a property there is closed down in St. Paul's. There's security cameras. I would, if it's okay for me to quarantine in St. Paul's. And he said that should not be an issue. He gave me Abdiel Samuel's number, who was the chairman of the task force. And when I call Abdiel said, start dancing around the question. You know, they have to go to cabinet and this and that and that. But all of this time, you know, the cabinet had in some cockroach and some termites. The cabinet was not a clean cabinet. You know. Abdiel should have known that. But what followed that conversation with Abdiel Samuels when I was trying to get myself organized to quarantine at home was this. A couple days later.
I will continue to protect the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And that is why we say the borders close. Borders close!
We no got no time for labor. Just come out election day. Make sure you put the X in the right place. Family.
The borders of St. Kitts and Nevis are closed to protect you who are here. And those who are compelled to come for any reason, 14 days. You're not going in nobody's house. You're not going in nobody's car. 14 days, you're going to be in lockdown. That is the rule. And at the end of the 14 days, you get a test. And if the test ain't come back good, you're in lockdown again. The borders are closed.
On the 10th.
So that was the response I get publicly, not privately. So the borders were closed, and DJ Morrishaw now had to make arrangements to come down to St. Kitts. Now, DJ Morrishaw were given two options, you know, and I want you to tell me which one you will choose. One of the options were to stay at my place. I would have to hire a security company of the choosing of the police commissioner. Now I have friends who have security companies who would give me a deal, but I didn't have that luxury. I had to wait for the police commissioner to give me a security company. And the cost of that security for 14 days was $20 an hour for 24 hours for 14 days. You say you work all over the place in education, so you should calculate that and it's over $7,000. But it didn't stop there now, Brother Daly. Apart from paying security, $20 an hour for 24 hours for 14 days, you had to also rent a tent for the security to sit under. You had to also rent a porta potty for the security to use. And all the time they put in VAT on this thing. The alternative to that was to go to a quarantine that was selected by the government and stay for 14 days. And that is how I ended up at the Royal St. Kitts. And I want to thank everybody. You know, there was a lot of people that took my calls, call out to me, support me and everything. But I had to be creative and decide to share my story with other individuals who might be thinking about coming into the Federation, what they would have to deal with. I tell you, it was a criminal act. It was a criminal offense, the way that we were treated by the former Prime Minister coming inside here. And there's a couple of clips here I'm going to play tonight, you know, Brother Daly. Couple of clips. Because people listen to these folks talking at their press conference and going into Parliament in the opposition bench and talking a bunch of nonsense, and they seem to forget what them people did to us when they had the opportunity. And I keep telling folks up to today and yesterday I had a conversation with someone. And I said, they got to thank the police, you know. They got to give the police high regards. Because with all the rules that was put in place during the COVID pandemic, that these ministers of that tri-party, People's Action Movement, PAM led by Sean, this Concerned Citizen Movements led by Mark Brantley, and the People's Labour Party led by Timothy Harris. None of them was following the rules, you know. There was partying throughout the whole time, you know, just like I understand the what is this? The Prime Minister, Premier of England, that was locking down his people and going to party. See, he had to resign. But not in St. Kitts, not in Nevis. They here was partying in their own time. They was bold enough to have pictures of them hugging up and kissing up on veranda with all kind of a thing going on. And people accepted it because for whatever reason, they was not responding. But we're going to thank the police officers. Because if one of the police officers was not so ambitious to go across to the last stop, which is owned by Lindsey Grant and his family, when they was up there partying in their numbers. If the police officers did not go across there where Lindsey Grant decided he want to rat them up. Take a listen.
Boss. People pass here in and out without writing in the book.
If you want to shut it down, shut it down.
Failure.
If you want to shut it down,
wait, sir.
Hello.
Wait,
hello. Let me tell you something, right?
Wait, sir.
Hello, Nas.
Wait, sir.
Hello.
Mr. Grant, excuse from
Let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something, right?
Mr. Grant,
let me tell you something.
Excuse from in front my face.
Why you want to ratify right now? Let me leave you.
Failure to comply with the COVID-19 protocol.
Shut it down, then. So shut it down.
So, if this incident did not take place, where Lindsey Grant decided he want to rat up the police then. You know that today, we might still have a team unity administration raping and doing all kind of damage to the country. Do you guys realize that? Do you guys realize if it wasn't for Sean Richards that decided he wants his name out of a police report, we may have still have a team unity. And I want you to hear the clips, you know, because people seem to forget. I lost this clip, this clip there that I had earlier. And when I was looking for it, I called around to several people to find out if they had that clip. And nobody seems to have that clip in Brother Daly. Nobody seems to have that clip. Because at the end of the day, those those police officers did their job. And when they did their job, they decided to add some names of Lindsey Grant, Sean Richards, and Janelle Powell in the report. And Sean decided his name should not be in any report because at the end of the day, he was not there, but Janelle was there. But this particular clip I'm about to play, I actually played it when I received it. And I spoke about Janelle. And when I played this clip, the rag newspaper they have online there, the St. Kitts Navy Style, they came after me and said that I am releasing false information, that the voice that was in that clip was not Janelle. So I basically reached out to Janelle following my broadcast that Wednesday evening. And I told him that I heard that the clip that I played, it was not him. And I want to apologize since it was not him. And I don't want to just apologize privately. I would like to apologize publicly. So if he will come on the program for me to apologize. And he agreed. He's going to come on the program to apologize. What was funny is that Janelle did not leave it there, you know. Janelle said to me, boy, Morrishaw, you know, the funny thing is, they're saying it's my voice on the tape. I was not even at the venue. I was never at that venue. So I do not know why they're calling my name. So the clips you're going to be listening to, though I'm still not sure whether it's Janelle's voice or not, the bottom line is Janelle lied to me at the time because he said he was not at the venue. So I'm going to play the clip where whoever it was disrespecting and harassing the officer who was a part of that team up at the last step. So take a listen to the clip.
Nobody thieving no election in this country.
No, wrong one, Janelle, wrong one. Wrong thief. As a matter of fact, I'll come back to you later with the thieving. Wrong one, Janelle. We need the other one. We need the other one. We don't want the thieving as yet. Pull the wrong one there, Brother Janelle. So the thing about it is, they're saying that Brother Janelle was the wrong person. Let me see my numbers. We have them. I have them mixed up here. Oh, I did pick up the wrong one. Okay, sorry, Brother Janelle. Wrong one. Let me look for the other one here. So Brother Janelle says the wrong tape I'm playing here. So let me look for the correct tape that I'm looking on here for Brother Janelle. So that I can play that clip, because that clip, if anybody going to tell me that this is not Janelle, I'll go along with you. But what I was hearing that night, it sounds like this is Janelle to me. So let me see if I can find that clip with Janelle. And I can locate the one with Lindsay. Let me make sure that I upgraded that one with Brother Janelle. I think this one is called Chobak. Let me see.
Government employees acting St. Kitts like they ain't gonna fucking sense.
And if it's
Boss man, if you say a bad word, you will be arrested for indecent language.
These are how the government employees act. One, what's the officer number? One.
Do not come in front of my face with no
touch
camera.
Me. Do not touch me.
Do not come in front of my face with no camera. You are in my personal space.
Okay, I'm 6 feet away.
Thank you very much.
1, 2,
So,
3.
yeah, I have an issue and I would like to, if you could please come and address the matter, please. I hear by last luck, and because I am here,
look at this.
And we're speaking to Mr. Grant, he got all kind of things going on, and he hit me, and I'm not taking it.
Do not touch me. I don't know how to deal with the situation. No kind of training.
The minister of government, I am not playing with him.
No kind of training in St.
I guess he gonna come, he gonna grab up my phone and he feed me.
No kind of training, look at him. He ain't got no education.
Them they can't
help
join and
yourself,
when
look
they
at
say
them.
one thing and doing a total different thing and I'm not taking it.
They ain't got no training now. She can't deal with the situation.
So this is the kind of government we had back then. Setting laws, breaking laws, and when the police come at them, they disrespect the police. So, as I said, Brother Janelle said that he was never at the venue, but his leader of the People's Action Movement, Sean K. Richards, tried him under the bus by letting us know he was at the venue. So take a listen.
Y'all heard about the incident at Last Lap. The incident with Lindsay. And the night when that incident took place, I went to Last Lap the night. I went Last Lap the night. A friend of mine and I went to Last Lap that night. When I got there, I saw Jonelle there, I saw Lindsay there. In the middle area in conversation. The friend and I joined them in conversation. And we were there speaking for about an hour. I left Jonelle inside. I could understand Lindsay's name in the report. I could understand Jonelle's name because they said at the end of the incident, Jonelle sort of assisted them. But me no witness the incident. Me no part in the incident. Because of course Pastors knew that Lindsay was there. There was a recording that sounded like Jonelle. And so Pastors knew that Jonelle was there.
You understand that, Brother Daly?
Yeah.
That is coming from the leader of the People's Action Movement. He's saying there was a recording that sounded like Jonelle, so people know Jonelle was there. But the pundits attacked the Morrishaw. So all these things is what have transpired over the past 3 years and continue to happen to today. The fake news, the bad man them. They say they're bad since they're small. So they talk the nonsense. But all this time I'm inside the quarantine, just feeding the public, the general public, valuable health information. Because, Brother Daly, prior to 2020, when the COVID came out, I was a part of a hazmat and healthcare team to the 1199 SEIU union. We traveled the entire US training people in various hospitals. We did retractable needles. We did the N95 masks. We did the respirators. We did all kind of stuff. Test fit respirators for folks that were bed with a confined space training, name it. And that went on for the better part of 20-something years. But when Obama came out of office, the president that took over said that they wasted money. So they shut down the grant that was paying us for those services. And if you realize when the COVID came in, the masks, them was scarce that everybody needed, the same N95 that we approved. But there were citizens at home and abroad that was listening to my conversation, just as people listen to you and congratulate you for your service to community. And this young fella here, he's from St. Paul's, People are gonna have to figure out who he is by knowing his voice. But I'm gonna play this clip. This is a clip that was sent to me while I was in quarantine 3 years ago.
By me listening upon Facebook Live, but you need to take over saying it's because you talking more sense than what Timothy them talk. Timothy, Grant, Jonelle, all of them put together can handle you. You need to take over Prime Minister and saying it's boy because What you say make 100% sense. And it thing what really kind of bad at me, right? Even if they look money, make it a little more accessible. Make it like how you come about with 14 quarantine days. That's like prison, bro. Like, yo, I don't really know what like Timothy really like he want to squeeze some people, man. Like he doing that just to spite some people. So he mean that people gonna eat and nobody is gonna eat. So as long as any people them eat, to fuck with them. That's how me just see this thing, bro.
Go ahead.
So this is a listener overseas listening to me presenting, because I present nightly of what was transpiring. And I warned them that there will be community spread as a result of their bad habit, because they was not serious about this quarantine thing and about a daily. People was coming inside here that is not tested. And people came in here that test positive and still was able to to go on a plane. So it was only a matter of time for community spread when I was challenging them. And it's amazing. During one of the COVID broadcasts, my good partner there, Sergeant Henry, was appealing to the general public, once that community spread started, that people need to be at home where they should be. Eventually, they're fighting us down, that traveling in from overseas. They're telling us that you have to have a COVID test, negative test, 72 hours before arrival. That's what they're telling us. So when we get here in St. Kitts Nevis, then we are negative. If we're going to get positive, we catch it in the process coming in, because we were tested 72 hours before. But I know people came in here who test positive, came on planes because of who they know. People came in here who did not test at all. And this particular clip I'm going to play, that had to do with the Argentina person. Because when I came in the second time around, 6 months later, I could no longer stay at the Royal St. Kitts, because the manager there had a problem with me reporting what was happening at that facility. So they refused to book me at that facility. I ended up at the Owali and Nevis. And when I came into the airport in St. Kitts, they told me since I was fully vaccinated, I would quarantine for 9 days. By the time I get to Nevis, they tell me I have to quarantine for 14 days. And when I argue the point with them of what I was told in St. Kitts, they say, well, St. Kitts could say what they want. We run things over here. This was supposed to be a federal thing, a federal matter. But Nevis had his own thing, and St. Kitts had his own thing, it appears. But a gentleman came in from Argentina one day after me. I came in this Saturday, he came in this Sunday. I was able, he's supposed to be number 46. They say he's not, they have him labeled as 47. Well, he was 46 because he gave 47, the COVID. The young lady that they had name all over the place, so she had sex with this man in a hotel room and all kind of nonsense. So, I want to drop this clip of Sergeant Henry giving his update.
Good afternoon to all listening to this broadcast via whatever means. The COVID-19 task force has confirmed reports of persons who are confirmed COVID-19 cases in isolation has been seen in public at business places in Bastille over the last 2 days of limited operations. The task force takes a very dim view of persons who act responsibly and puts the public at risk. The persons in question have since been placed in government quarantine facility pending their recovery. The Commissioner of Police has directed that these incidents be investigated with a view to bring criminal charges against these persons if necessary.
But I can say to you that while they say that folks will be brought to justice for violating the COVID protocols, the wrath-up fella That case came to justice as yet, you know, because they were playing political football between the DPP and the police commission of who should be liable to charge Lindsey Grant. I hear them calling for all kind of information regarding the passport, the CBI. They want to know the numbers. They want to know status of a lot of things. How come none of them are asking the status of the case between Lindsey Grant and the police up at the last stop? That's not of public concern. Shouldn't that be a concern? But I'm still playing the clips during this time, you know, because the former Prime Minister and Deputy had a little fun at a press conference when the ball started rolling. To take a quick listen.
The final question that had been put with respect to Othniel Heiliger's structure, as I understand it, and the perceived unfairness to remain Belgrove has been put to the Deputy Prime Minister. So he will answer that one. Okay, so we will have the Deputy Prime Minister, and then we will have the other health matters being addressed appropriately.
My simple and brief answer to that question is that it has been misdirected. That particular department falls under the office of the Prime Minister. I note that the Permanent Secretary for Sustainable Development is present, Mrs. Elrita Simpson-Brown, and perhaps she can best provide an answer.
So, Brother Daly, those are some of the clips of what was transpiring during those times while people was here suffering, taking knockabout from the former administration. But I'm gonna drop two more. I'm gonna drop two more clips before I give you a chance to speak, you know, because I want to remind the people again that during all of this time, while we was trying to find out what's going on with the stimulus, because remember they gave out several stimulus dollars, you know. Several stimulus was approved, but yet there are people to date here in this community we are at, in St. Paul, still did not receive any stimulus. And the question to be asked, what become of all those monies that was approved by the former administration as stimulus packages? The farmers, the fishers, regular citizens still have not received that. And when I was questioned many of what was taking place, this was a response to one of my programs from Brother Abdia Samuels.
Who is taking care of a bedridden, ill mother, and you know, to be here every day serving the general public, we ain't getting an extra cent, we ain't getting nothing, just for the sake of service to country. I think that's highly commendable. You cannot want a sacrifice like that from any human being in any country. So I really want to highlight their sacrifice and contribution to our response.
Okay, so that is Brother Abdia Samuels telling us that we need to show respect to the task force, Wendy Phipps and them, because nobody getting an extra dollar. They're volunteering. What we find out when they break up, after the former Prime Minister decided to fire 6 of them, we find out nothing goes on. Wait a minute. They got together and come up with over $300,000 to split amongst themselves. They call it honorarium. Very lovely word.
On the 10th of January, every single cabinet member, save for the Honorable Attorney General, was present at cabinet. When that agenda item came up for that meeting, and I recognized that it was going to be the next item for discussion, I recused myself from the cabinet meeting because I knew that in addition to the persons who were being proposed for an honorarium, the names of Vincent Byron and Wendy Phipps were on that list. And it was the appropriate thing to have done to exit the room so that I do not influence a discussion in which the outcome would more than likely see me being a beneficiary for an honorarium. After the matter had been discussed for about 15 minutes, I was called back to the cabinet room and rejoined the meeting, and at that point I would have been informed of the cabinet's decision. By the 21st of January, acting on the instruction of the cabinet secretary, who would, according to her practice, send the cabinet decision of that nature to the office of the financial secretary, the payments were made to the members of the task force. The payments were done rather discreetly, right in this very building, on Friday, the 21st of January, with a senior official from the Ministry of Finance being present to present and to have signed for them the same beneficiaries who were asked to walk with an ID. No, as I said, that was January 21st. February 21st came, no leaking of anything. March 21st came, no leaking of anything. April 21st came, no leaking of anything. And now we are down to the 31st of May, and yesterday that happened. I do not want to surmise or to second guess or to try to figure out who did what and why. But what I do know is that cabinet documents are privileged documents. People who sit in a cabinet have to take an oath of office before you can assume any type of role in the cabinet. What was done yesterday, and to a certain extent I can only say that it was done in retaliation for my statements last Friday, because the graphic that I saw only had one person's picture on it, and it was mine. But my position is that if you want to take issue with a minister of government over a payment that that minister of government receives, you have no business whatsoever compromising senior civil servants in that process. What I saw yesterday had all of the names of all of the beneficiaries, plain as day, and I do not know what was the aim of all of that. Nobody on the task force stole any money. Nobody on the task force begged to have an honorarium, but they were duly presented with an honorarium. This type of information being circulated on social media doesn't help anybody. And what it does is engender further distrust in terms of your access to government, especially when matters have to come before the cabinet. So the average person might be out there wondering right now, what happens to me if, for example, like the example I gave you earlier, of 44 businesses applying to the Ministry of Trade for relief, for fiscal relief, to get their businesses up and running or to relieve some of their operational costs. What is to happen to those who are still in the process of sending in their applications? Are they supposed to now feel threatened or afraid at being exposed even to their competitors, for example, which is serious, that something as simple and which is their entitlement to access as an application for fiscal incentives in the past might very well find itself on social media. So I think sometimes when we do these things, the person or persons who are responsible, we need to take time and think about the implications for everybody. And I will end on that note, and I will pray that as we move forward, we would recognize that social media serves a good, but it also has its bad sides. But let us continue to try to use it for the good that we can get out of it.
Well, Brother Daly, I try my best weekly to use this media for the best that I can get out of it. And, you know, sometimes when people carrying on and representing their parties and whatever, and the thread, people send me message, block them. I ain't gonna block nobody on this feed, you know. Because I remember brother, what your name is, Larry Vaughan said to me one time, he never seen nobody throw stone at green mango. You got to be a ripe mango. If the tree is empty with just bush, nobody gonna stone it. So the program is bringing out some topics where people are feeling the pain because they want us to forget what transpired over the last 3 years or the last 7 years, as a matter of fact. So they come with their lala, try to change history, and they can't change history. They cannot change the history. We have the issues that were there from 2015 to present. And every chance I get, I thank the folks that gave us a team unity. Because if they did not give us a team unity, we would not have known the difference. If it was not COVID where I got locked down in quarantine and had this program, I would not be able to question Mark Grantley and got his lies. And when I fact checked, I realized his lies after lies after lies, where I have to stay on him. Because I'm still on the hospital ring and Nevis, you know. I have not heard anything lately about the update and the quantity survey that's supposed to complete in October. We are now in November, and I still have not gotten any update from the Premier, but you say he's in Dubai?
That's where he is.
Okay, so I guess I have to wait until he come back from Dubai. And by the way, he made some offers to come and take a walkthrough of the hospital. I reached out to the health minister to see when I can take a walkthrough. I am yet to hear back from the health minister, so I guess either her data is finished or she's in the cloud someplace, but I have not got any response on what's going on over there and the need is in. So far on these clips that I've played, any input you want to give on those situations?
Well, I'm telling you something, those are some dark days, some very, very dark days. And my concern, of course, is the fact that we still have one of those entities remaining from that unity construct. That is as if, as if they weren't any part of anything in trying to distort our democracy and usurp our rights as citizens. Because you remember an election campaign was held during COVID in 2020.
Yeah.
And we as an opposition party were clearly disadvantaged by the whole process. I was a candidate for Nevis 9. And the things that the Premier was allowed to do, I couldn't do. Campaigning, holding rallies, of course. We couldn't bring in anybody. The bodies were closed. But yet people were showing up to vote from Santo Domingo. You understand? There was a lot of things that, happened during the campaign of 2020 that are unspeakable. But somehow we have emerged from it as if it did not happen. We should not forget what happened. The further issues with the honorarium, I don't know why it was a secret. The Honorable Wendy Phipps seems more upset that it was disclosed rather than the fact that they should have disclosed it. They should have said, listen, we are going to grant an honorarium to these persons because they're deserving of it. We have a committee that selected them. I don't think people would have been as outraged as they were because, people understand there's a lot of work went into COVID. There are a lot of restrictions, a lot of anxiety, a lot of sacrifices. I think the government should have been as forthright and said, listen, we have decided to, on top of what people are getting paid, we believe they deserve a risk pay, called it honorarium. We believe that they deserve some sort of relief from the sacrifices they made. And I think people will be understanding of it.
But Dr. Daly, not cutting you off, but remember during that period, it was a kind of a stealing thing, a thieving thing across the board, And I always believe that when you're going to talk about doing something in secret, you thief your teeth in. They don't think they deserve it, otherwise there wouldn't be no secret. They approved stimulus that citizens of the Federation did not get. So they had to do it secretly.
I don't know why though.
Because they didn't think they deserve it. They know what they were doing. They know they did not. People was hurting in Brother Daly. People are still hurting today in Brother Daly. From the COVID situation in 2020, people are still feeling it up until this day. While some people get away with millions, thousands, hundreds of thousands. Some of them is set for life. While the regular citizens out there, I think some of these young guys are making an excuse for them. Still going out there robbing here and there trying to make ends meet. That's what you do when you put people in this situation. The dollars that these people waste and put in their hand and their foreign account or whatever they were doing, whatever they did with the money, did not go to the people. I am of the view that this stimulus did not go to the right people. And that's what I was talking about. During that time,
it'd be interesting then. We have a new government in power. The one thing you can't hide is a paper trail. I mean, if money went missing during that period of time, the government is in a position, just like they did with Development Bank, to order a forensic audit of all that period of time, especially transfers to Nevis. I'm more interested in what happened in Nevis. What happened to what kind of money was transferred to Nevis to deal with what aspect of COVID? How was the money spent? I mean, we can revisit history, but if we don't revisit in a kind of calculating, scientific, analytical way, we are simply, all we're doing is just talk. And we must get to the bottom of it, because it's still very painful in our history. What happened? What happened to all the resources? What happened to all the money that came flowing into Nevis? I don't know. And we probably will never know who got what and when and how much.
And that is a fact. Oh, by the way, someone correct me online here. I was saying Sergeant Henry, but the Superintendent Henry was the person that gave those reports at the task force. And during those days, Brother Daly, I did not just stop at this program during the COVID period, during the pandemic. I eventually went into doing the virtual gospel show and the virtual calypso shows. And friends like Monarch and Sakroti and Lord Kent and the Mighty Pat and many of Louis Idle Jr. from the Virgin Islands, Oriel over there in Anguilla and her brother, the Washington's sister and brother. There was a great deal of people, Norma Francis, that participated in those events. But one individual took the time out after his performance that night and again sent me a clip thanking me for putting off the show. And I want to play this clip because tonight, after 3 years, I think I should show appreciation to these folks that took the time out to send me a voice note to say thanks or to encourage me to continue move on. So take a listen.
Well, buddy, it's easy for me to say this in the regular chat, eh? But, I mean, enough appreciation for everything that you do, for Calypso. As you see, it don't matter what the end result is. Once there's something that I could do to assist, I'll definitely do it. Now we have the experience. The next time, I can tell you, will be better than ever. So anyway, man, one love. Appreciate everything that you do.
So that was the Mighty Monarch who participated in that Calypso show. And everyone enjoyed that virtual show. And many virtual shows took pattern after that production that I did. And like Singing Francis said to me, God bless her soul. She said, my brother, you must be commended for what you're doing, because there was many other countries trying to do virtual events and had to cancel them because they was not able to deal with the technical aspect of things. And she said to me, look at Trinidad government. They had to cancel the whole show because of technical difficulties, and you was able to pull off such a spectacular show the first time around. But it was not just I myself doing it. It was a team of people. But the brain behind the team was a gentleman from Trinidad and Tobago by the name of Ike. So some of us in our regular islands, our countries, I think Sakroti sing a song there, King have no honor in his own country. How was I able, a little black boy from St. Paul, St. Kitts, to get a top engineer out of Trinidad and Tobago to take care of my technical feel behind the scene to produce such a spectacular show? while Trinidad was struggling to pull off such a program for themselves. So I want to big up Ike tonight again. You know, I want to thank you for your service, my brother. And we're 3 years old and we got further to go with this thing because we're going to stay focused. We're going to continue to bring the message to the general public. And don't forget the viewership. You, the viewers, the online viewers that come here week after week after week, encouraging to keep the flame burning. I cannot forget you. People like Naomi Ward, Batcha. Naomi said to me one time, boy, Morrishaw, I don't want you to stop that program you're running. You're bringing some good information. And even if it's I alone listening to you, make sure you continue that program. She said, however, I support my Labour Party, you know, and if they're gonna screw up on your guy after them, don't call me, I ain't coming. But in tribute to Monarch for being the stalwart that he is. Back then they had a thing called the COVID contest. You remember those days where people sing about the COVID?
Of course.
Well, Monarch had did a nice piece. And I don't think people pay attention to the talent in that young man. So, and this evening of my anniversary, I want to drop this for the people, for the online viewers, and to say thank you to Monarch for his continued support.
I'm here hiding from this pandemic, down in Boyd's here in St. Kitts. The government have us on lockdown, both in the country and in the town. I hope you're prepared and have plenty food, cause staying at home is for your own good. Corona, my friends, very serious, so let's work to slow down this damn virus. Daylight, 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 daylight. Give thanks to all essential workers, medical, media, and police officers. They risk their lives to make us safe and ensure stability in this place. So every citizen must play their part to ensure this demon from us depart. Stay home, stay safe, obey the curfew if you don't want the next victim to be you. Daylight, 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 daylight.
Yeah, so that's the sound of the mighty Monarch. But it was not just Monarch that would reach out to me on a daily basis to make sure that I was okay and to keep my health up. We had a gentleman from Antigua. At the time, he was in New York, going through his own thing. Gentleman by the name of the King Short Shirt. And every morning, Brother Short Shirt sent me a message or a prayer. And this is one of the messages that Short Shirt sent to me that stick to me with me as well.
Good morning, my friend. Don't allow those people who are out there being paid to denounce and criticize the vaccine. I already take mine. I'm going back on the 24th of May for the other one. Make sure you go and get your vaccine. We're going to leave this place anyhow. But protect yourself at all times. God.
So, like I said, it was a struggle, but a daily. But during those times, I get daily messages from across the globe. Messages from Winston Soso, singing Francine, name it. Me and my boy, the King Element, used to be on the phone daily. Not daily as in you, but daily as in every day. What was amazing though, is that my boy Element take a turn in 2022 and decided to go and say he's gonna nominate brother, what do you call it, Timothy. Whatever went on in Elimated, I really do not know. But what I want to do at this time, just to clear the air and to give our people the true meaning of government and their responsibility. Let me just drop this track by one of our kings, our stalwart. This one is called The Good Shepherd by the King Star Shield. So I'll give you a chance to go and get your refreshment. I will come back and continue the conversation. Stand by.
Your aim, I see, great leaders of today. Do you want to live to see great progress in your country? Or you want the whole Caribbean to be filled with bloody stains and strife? Taking poor people's lives, making sacrifice, just to live your big life. Oh yes, well you are responsible for whatever happens. That's why we depend on you, thinking you would help us. But you concentrate on power and don't care if your poor brother he or no shoes on his feet, up and down the street in the burning heat. Oh yes, while immigration's in the foreign nation, kicking your people out just like garbage cans. But you better realize we have reached at a crucial stage, situation that's taken us right back to slavery days. But I say, you are the shepherd, we are the sheep. You made a petition, and that you must keep. But how can we prosper with our lives in your hand when you're hunger for power, corrupting this land? For the news and information that I feel every day, all I can do is just get right down on my knees and pray. And while meditating, I hear a voice saying, "Oh, to the shepherd that leads his sheep astray." Oh yeah, but I'm asking of the oh yeah, I'm telling you straight, oh yeah, you are a big disgrace, oh yeah, destroying the human race. Every leader should be brave. It's a fact I must explain. Opposition leaders too, you're also responsible for when you perform malpractice, overthrowing government. I insist. If something like this is of your interest, then you're a pessimist. Oh yes, but if you live by guns, well then you will surely die by them. If you take my opinion, you can save a whole nation. All you opposition leaders and you ministers in government, while you reset and rest with content, poor people can't pay their rent. But when you come to the public, you keep a show. just true. And I fell right down on my knees and prayed. And while I was praying, the good shepherd kept saying, woe to the shepherd that leads his sheep astray. But them a sin of the place. I'm getting them straight to the face. If there are a big disgrace, destroy the human race. The whole world situation is nothing but corruption. Even little children, they have so much ill words to say. But I blame parents and teachers who resent from teaching them the way. And that's why today, disrespect, I say, is a common thing. Oh yeah. And when you go to church, you'll find ministers of the same kind. Sexual maniacs, and then some are homosexual men. They are nothing but wolves in sheepskin. They are blind, but yet they live in weeds. And I'm pleased to see Californians like me, who be good shepherds, and see that diverse time and peril has come. I say, false prophets rising up, deceiving every nation. It is time to spread the message all over every land. Stand up and fight and wipe out all corruption. And understand that we are the shepherds to care for our sheep. That is the petition which we have to keep. We pros to be leaders and to give instruction. But some only created abomination. Oh, the world is full of corruption and deceitful men today. So in whatever we do, we must get down on our knees and pray. For when we start praying, we'll gain understanding and know the good shepherd won't lead his sheep astray. He put a blessing in the place. I'm telling you straight to the face. He'll save the human race.
Songs of the King Star Shield. That one is called The Good Shepherd. Well, Brother Daly, I was hoping to sign off at 8 p.m. sharp this evening, but there is a name here by the name of Sweetness Hudson, whoever that person is. They earn themselves some overtime. So let me respond to this individual since they're asking me a question. But I just want to let, whether it's Miss, Mrs., Mr., Sir Hudson, this program here, the JefroyMorrishaw platform, this is to deal with the people's business. People who in government that is out there doing what we think not right, we try to hold their foot to the fire. I will not be engaging in any conversation about Dr. Daly's life, Dr. Daly's past, or anybody's business. Dr. Daly is a private citizen. I do not touch private citizens on this program. The only time I respond to people is when they attack me. I try to attack anyone. I deal with them appropriately. So if there is a question about Mark Brantley, the Premier of Nevis, that's what we want to talk about. Mark Brantley is currently the Premier of Nevis, being paid, misleading the people of Nevis. And I wasn't going to touch the hospital wing tonight, you know, Mr. Dr. Daly. But I'm going to touch it. I'm going to leave it till next week, but I'm going to give them some overtime tonight. Because I want to engage Sweetness Hudson.
Why, Jeffrey, why are you wasting your time?
I'm not wasting my time. I am going to engage Sweetness Hudson. I want Sweetness Hudson to tell me if they approve, if that individual approves of the expansion wing of the Alexandria Hospital that was supposed to be a $6 million project that eventually turning quickly to a $17 million project that eventually turned into a 18 and then a $19 million project that started in 2017 with a completion date of 2019. Hear me again. The expansion wing at the Alexandria Hospital that started in 2017 at a cost of $19 million. That was scheduled to complete in 2019, 24 months later. We are now in 2023, and I guarantee you that we are way over that budget, because back in January, February, when they had the budget, they also appropriate another $12 million in the budget. So put 12 million into that 19. We are already over into 31 million. And it's all kind of hanky-panky going on there. We still cannot get a straight answer about the hospital. So let me drop this clip for Sweetness Hudson. Compliments DJ Morrishaw. This one is for you.
In terms of the hospital project, I had hoped today that I would have had an update, but I do not. And the reason I do not is because we are still waiting on some quantity surveys that are to be done. We had hired and paid for those to be done by a professional on St. Kitts. Suffice it to say that that professional has taken the money but not delivered. And so we have been forced midstream to change course. I'm told now that we have outsourced that activity to an entity in the US, and I hope that I should be able to come back to you in short order with an update on that. And if not myself, then the Minister of Health should be able to come with an update. If that update comes prior to my next press conference, we will share that update.
So Sweetness Hudson, that's what I'm concerned about, not Mr. Daly's life. Mr. Daly is a private citizen. Let's deal with the people's money of our Queen City navies. And, you know, we have to stop getting personal and abuse these social media.
Not to stop you, Jeffrey, but understand something. There are two ways of dealing with a situation. You either, especially a situation that's not comfortable for you. You can either debunk the information that is presented, or you can try to go after the messenger. Nothing that I have written about, nothing that I've ever presented has been challenged as being untrue by this government. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You understand? And so the next course of action, which is logical to them, it's just say, well, why listen to a man like Daly? He got all kind of character flaws. But then, isn't it easier to bring what you believe are the facts to the people? I present to them what I believe are the facts. Present what you believe are your facts, and we will see where the truth lies. So this, I'm immune, I must tell you right now, I'm immune to personal attacks. Immune, totally immune. It means nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, it gives me more energy to go and do, because then, like you said before, you don't throw stones at an empty mango tree, right? If you throw a stone, you're assuming that there's a nice mango up there you want to knock down. So all these stones are throwing at me, it means absolutely nothing. Believe me, nothing. I'll keep telling people, I am more dead than alive. I'm now 64 years old. What more do I have to prove to people? I have nothing. I simply am a messenger of the people, for the people. And so if whoever this person is, you know, want to engage, I have a radio program on Saturday. I'm inviting you to come on from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock and have a normal conversation, a normal debate, rather than hide behind some fake name and whatever else they're hiding behind. Come out and tell the people your side of the story. It's simple as that. It is my show. I can invite anybody I want, for as long as they want, as many times as they want. But let us be fair to the people who are listening, and let us protect the information. Let us protect the facts, not throwing stones at the empty mango tree, because it means nothing to me. Nothing at all, absolutely nothing. I don't lose no sleep over it. I'm not losing friends over it. I'm not losing family over it. My family loves me even more. My friends love me even more. So I am not perturbed whatsoever. Matter of fact, I find it fascinating that I am now the center of a smear campaign once again, as I did in 2020. You know, it means nothing to me. Believe me.
Well, Brother Daly, like I said, we are already on overtime. Your time is up. I'm going to drop this track again by Brother Starshield, The Vicious Circle, in line with what is transpiring at the moment, and give you a chance to do your wrap up. Because I'm going to drop some track and continue for a bit longer. So I'm going to drop this track, give you a chance to do your closing, say hello to who you want to say hello to, and we move on. I want to say good night to Brother Kelvin Handy there in the Nevis Island there. Good evening. He's been saying hello to us all evening. He said to say hello, Brother Daly. Stand by for the King Starshield.
What is the reason for you to fear the iniquities of wicked men nowadays, when you are aware that all that is in their minds is to upraise strife and confusion? But the same does fall on their children, down to the third and fourth generation. Corruption, I say, it could work, but it just can't pay. For most people who are living sky high today got rich in dishonest ways, and living with day from day to day, I can say that if they could hold the key to destruction and upturn this place to confusion, they would strive to do all they can do. So this message I bring to you, especially for them wicked people, and it's not lies, so listen to my cry. If a man spit up to the sky, it must fall straight back in the eye.
For sure.
Some men would even use their position to seduce young women of this nation. Say this and coming out of school, applying to get employment, and to be successful, they must be present for interviews at their residence at 8 p.m. instant, or somewhere they never went. I call it a bed and back situation, breeding corruption over the land. But they'll cease from their wicked plan when they understand that the one who holds the key to destruction, someday he'll turn their life to confusion. They continue to seduce my people, but when he see they're getting too far, he would take away the power before they die. So they know it's not lie, that when they spit up to the sky, it must fall straight back in their eyes.
Where's this happen? Lyric.
Broadcasting and rumors going around, information about wolves in sheep clothing, keeping us down. Just like Jim Jones, the minister over in Guyana, using God's name to make a cover for the land he want to take over. He didn't mind to kill a multitude at one time, after making them sign him as beneficiary of their social security. But not he didn't live to spree his decree, but he do not hold the key to destruction to stop them from shooting him down, or he'd openly let it be me. But the one above has the plan to make all them decisions, and if I lie, oh, he wouldn't have to die when he spit up to the sky and it fall straight back in the eye. only affect me too. For whatever deed that I do, it becomes a vicious circle. Vanity never makes happiness for you. So you should never spoil your future days for vanity which does not pay. For happiness can only be when your mind is free. And you know who holds the key to destruction can make this a happy nation if we strive to do what we should do. That's why this message I bring to you would help us to struggle to let it reach you high. So even if I die here, I spit a blessing up to the sky, let it fall straight back in your eye.
Yeah, brother, sister, whoever you are, Sweetie Hudson, lyrically that song is for you. Let's just stick to the matter of the politicians and stop attack private citizens, huh? I don't deal with that. DJ Morrishaw don't play that. Yeah, brother Daly, you are closing. You are closing, sorry.
Well, Jeffrey, I just want to congratulate you on your 3rd anniversary of broadcasting. I think you have done a hell of a service to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, whether you reside here in the Federation or in the diaspora. And so many congratulations to you, and I hope that you continue for another 100 years, long after poor me has gone to the grave and beyond. And of course, congratulations to you, to your listeners who have been thoroughly entertained and informed over the years. Without you, there's no them, and without them, there's no you. And so we are in a symbiotic relationship as we try to educate each other as we move forward. I just want to reach out to my good friend George Morris, who you name your call. I have not seen that gentleman for a long time. He's actually a family member of mine. I don't think he realizes it. But George, wherever you are, I just hope you're doing well and your family's doing well. We miss you here on Nevis, but we know you have to provide, and therefore you had to be away. And of course, the rest of the folks, whether it's Gigi, Skeet, or Tanya Powell, or I can't see the names because I don't have an expensive phone like you, Jeffrey. I can't split screens kind of stuff yet. Perhaps when I use some of my retirement benefits to do save to invest in something like that. But so I'm blind. I'm flying blind when it comes to who is online with you. But I just want to say that we here on Nevis are dealing with a criminal enterprise. I don't use that phrase lightly. I've tried my best to give the benefit of the doubt to this government in every aspect of the operations, and each turn to disappoint me. And they disappoint not only me, but a whole host of people, educated people, those persons who never been to college, but have common sense to realize things are not right. We are dealing with a criminal enterprise. A criminal element has taken control of our government. And when you have criminality in a government, you cannot have fairness in a government. All you can have is people taking advantage of the offices to enrich themselves. We have the hospital scandal that racked us since 2017 to now, can't be resolved. Tens of millions of dollars spent, no resolution in sight. We have the Nisbet scandal, where a premier hotel in Nevis, was allowed to be sold by a law firm that was owned by the premier for $3.5 million, less than half of its actual market value. That is scandalous. You understand? We have so many scandals in this country. We'll be here all night trying to go through all of them. And so pastors must recognize, if you are going to give this government a buy on all these scandals, then you are part of the scandal. You're part and parcel of the reason why we are in the position we are in. You're part and parcel of the reason why we, as a small country of 13,000 people, or our banks and other lending institutions, $600+ million. You are part of that problem. You are part of the problem that cannot explain how $500 million in CBI receipts have gone missing. You are part of that problem. If you're not interested in knowing, then leave us who are interested in knowing to do the job, right? You have a situation with healthcare where persons are simply not making it in this healthcare system. We have a situation in education. We have a minister of education who don't know his ass from his elbow. You're putting square pegs in round holes. You just don't care anymore. You heard the premier say in no uncertain terms, I give up when it comes to attracting foreign direct investments, because he's saying they come, they see, and they leave. Then if 10 people come and see and leave, then the problem is not the island, the problem is you. They do not have any confidence in you, they do not trust you for whatever reason, because they sense they are dealing with a criminal enterprise where everybody in government is looking for a piece of the pie. If you come out of government richer than you went in, Jeffrey, you stole it. And we see the evidence all around Nevis of the wealth of our ministers who went to the government practically broke and now own multiple estates, multiple vehicles, bank accounts, all over. And you're telling me that our Integrity in Public Life Bill, which is already weak, that was designed to help our people, designed to protect our people from the excesses of government, from the corruption of government, even that you're going to take umbrage with and try to weaken even further. I mean, we can sit here all night and talk about what this government has not done, but we, the people of Nevis and St. Kitts, must take responsibility also for what we did to allow these guys to continue to operate as if they have no masters. We are the masters, we are the taxpayers, we are the voters. They owe us, we don't owe them. And people must recognize the power that is encapsulated in their bodies, in their minds, in their spirits, in the little finger when they go to vote. The mere fact they're gonna have to now change those amendments to the Integrity in Public Life legislation tells you that there is truth to be spoken to power. And people must recognize the strength in that and not be afraid. Not be afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not afraid of a single soul on this planet, because they have one head, I have one. All right? And so I'm not afraid of them, and I hope they're not afraid of me. We can simply meet and decide who is telling the truth and who is not telling the truth. Who is interested in protecting the public and who is not interested in protecting the public. And so that is my position. I will not allow myself to sit down in this country that I love to the last breath in my body, to be taken over by criminals and not say anything. Because there's a saying, they came for me. They came for my neighbor, I said nothing. They came for my friend, I said nothing. And then they came for me. Nobody was there to protect me. I'm here because I have a grandchild, granddaughter. I have 2 daughters and 2 sons, which I'm interested in protecting from this government. I'm on my way out. What I'm doing here is planting a seed for my children and children to come, and grandchildren to come, are protected in this country. Nobody would have any right, can have any right to say otherwise. Jeffrey, I wish you all the best in your endeavors going forward. I know we'll be collaborating as usual going forward. And again, congratulations, my brother. Well job. Well done. Well done.
Thank you. Brother Daly, I just want to say to you, my attitude towards life is my past is my past. Whatever I might have done yesterday, a year ago, 20 years ago, is not what's going to shape me today. Judge me what I am for the good that I can do and will continue to do. Now, I know you have a long history in education and all of this stuff, farming, fishing and whatever. But the honest truth, Brother Daly, I have no interest in what you were doing then, you know. My interest is what you're doing now and going forward, standing up for the people of Nevis, holding the foot to the fire. That is where I am concerned. So if you was a bad man or a gunman or a 2 weeks ago, 20 months ago, I have no interest in that, Brother Daly. I have interest in the daily that I am dealing with now. So we will continue to keep the flames burning. And I know you guys can tell me we'll continue the flames burning tomorrow evening, I would believe, from 8 p.m.
Yes.
And on Saturday, and target
about. So I'm encouraging persons to tune in.
Yeah, well, I tune in, so sure they're going to tune in. So, and target is Saturday from what, 1:30 or 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
1 to 3 and target on Saturday, and that's on 2020 Vision Radio. So, yes. Brother Daly, I want to thank you. And you don't have to wait for me to invite you here, Brother Daly. You got something, message me, say, boy, I'm coming to hang with you this evening. Because it's always a party at my house, whether online or in person. There's always a party going on. So I'm going to drop this track for you on the way out. Is the Rockhouse track by the late, not late as yet. My partner, Ailing King Elimat, the Ailing King Elimat. And I'm playing this track, and I'm also sending a message across to the people who are online listening and to the powers that be. I am of the view that from what I know, unless anything change, Elimat is really not in any condition to come home and live. It's going to be a big burden on the health system at this point. But I don't see nothing wrong with them on the special occasion that is coming up like Christmas to send for Elimat for a couple of days and show him a good time, you know. So I am putting it out there for the Carnival Committee to hear my voice, because I know you're all listening, you know. I don't want you all wait and then say, nobody gave the idea. I'm giving you all the idea. Elimat is right there at Plantation in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. Reach out to him. Flights fly direct from Miami to St. Kitts. Bring in the king. Let him hang out with us for a couple of days and let him go back to his relaxation. I know you cannot keep him full time, but don't wait until something happens and then we start jumping up and playing all this song and crying and saying what a good thing he did and all of this good stuff. Let's respect our contributors to this country. Let's respect them, including Dr. Daly. They have contributed a lot. Don't try to kill them now when they did all your cry, you want them back. Don't try to kill DJ Morrishaw when DJ Morrishaw gone, I remember all the good he do. I am here now. Make use of me now. Be the friend that you can be now. Not when I dead and gone. When I go across to the Anglican churchyard, I shiver when I see my brother grave. My brother died at 51, just 2015. He's in my mother's grave. That's where I put him to rest. And it is very hard for me to go there and watch that grave. But whenever I get disappointed from people who I believe in, that does things to bring my spirit down, that's where I go and watch my brother's grave. You know why, Mr. Daly? While my brother was alive, he used to work at a yellow cab company as a bodyman, repairing cars as they mash them up. And he used to stammer. And I would go by him once or twice a week whenever I have the time. I pop in to say hi. And he would ask me, what's up? And whenever I start to try to explain to him what's up, no fuck with them, no fuck with them. That was his response to me. No fuck with them, no fuck with them. No, forget about that. You'll be all right, you'll be all right. You know, fuck with them. You'll be all right. That was my brother response to me. So I'll tell you that. No fuck with them. Okay? You'll be all right. All right? All right. Have a good evening. The King Elimat, good evening, brother. Hope all is well. The man you so Cedric soon. You'll be all right. Oh, as the music continues. Ahoy!
The world today is so full of strife and confusion. Mankind just can't find a place to turn. We try to find a solution to cure the bitter taste of corruption that's infecting the populace of every nation. All the talk is about ammunition, which obviously leads us to self-destruction. It's time we all should know shall be open unto you. There's a better way, a brighter day, and this we all must learn. The good will always prosper, but the wicked shall burn, burn, burn. The wicked shall burn, burn, burn.
Every time. Just keep your eyes on them.
We fight, we cheat, we kill, but all is useless. We rape, we loot, we take, we never rest. Why must mankind act with such madness, making life appear to be worthless? It's hard to determine what is progress. Inventing car, inventing plane, what will man invent again? Mankind needs a plan to bring peace and love in every land. But he has to ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and he shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. There's a better way, a brighter day, and this we all must learn. The good will always prosper, but the wicked shall burn, burn, burn. The wicked shall burn, burn, burn. We cuss all day and abuse ourselves without reason. Common sense is really rat poison. A kind word turns a rat, puts the evilness out of your path. Just let a little love into your heart. God's children were not meant to suffer. All of we belong to the Master. Have nothing to fear, for my Father Jah is always near. All you do is ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. There's a better way, a brighter day, and this we all must learn. The good will always prosper, but the wicked shall burn, burn, burn. The wicked shall burn, burn, burn. Whatever you sow in, that shall you also reap. Whom Jah bless, no man curse. The Lord giveth, and he taketh away.
Well, I see my partner there, Premier Mark Brantley, online. Welcome, Premier Brantley. It's good to know that you know where to find DJ Morrishaw platform. Eh? I love to see you guys when you come online to hear for yourself what DJ Morrishaw is saying, because we're just talking the things, you know. We're not here to violate anybody, just to talk the things. So since I have you online, Premier Brantley, I am looking forward to hearing the update on the hospital wing there, the Alexandria expansion wing. I am looking forward to hear from you in regards to the surveyor. So you can join me anytime, you know. You're free to join me anytime. You're welcome to come on and let's have a one-on-one chat for the people. Let the people know what is going on there with the quantity surveyor, what we're going to do with that property. So welcome to the ride, you know, welcome to the, it's good to have you here for the anniversary. that, I'm still standing, nothing changed, still doing my thing. So it's really good having you hanging with the guys here this evening. I understand you're supposed to be in Dubai, I understand. So I don't know what time it is there in Dubai. So if you could put in the chat what time it is in Dubai, we could update the folks that you are doing. Okay. So in the meantime, let's drop this track here by my boy, The Mean Green. This one is called Left for Country. So let's drop this one by The Mean Green, Love for Country.
Oh yeah. Never before have I ever been in love like this.
Oh yeah.
When I think of you, I am in heavenly bliss. You are the ones that fill my heart with happiness. You are my true love, sink its deepest. Out of the bowels of colonialism, you have survived and still standing tall. A real precious gem of the Caribbean. You're so large even though you're small. Oh, sink its deepest. I really love you, but your tropical beauty don't really amaze me. Sink its deepest. I really love you, but you're sweeter than honey. Oh, what a sweet country. I love you. Your flower and your fauna. I love you. Your people and its culture. I must confess. Believe what I'm saying is true. Cause it's uneven. I love you. I love you. Boy, we're love, we're love, we're love. Oh yeah. St. Kitts and Nevis was native, they were called Siboney. Our wax and Caribs, they were here yesterday. Throughout those early years, you never extinguish your flame. Spanish, French, and English fought and took their claim. You survived the Quaker tsunami in 1680 and a cholera epidemic in 1853. After all you've been through, you never gave up that fight. Almighty God was with you, you kept shining bright. No sink it in best. I really love you, but you're so rich in history, from nothing to glory. Sink it in best. I really love you, but progress never ending. You keep on transcending. I love you. Every day you keep climbing. I love you. Like the sun you keep shining. I must confess. Believe what I'm saying is true. Cause saying it's uneven. I'll die for you. I'll die for you. Oh, yeah. We're love, we're love, we're love. Oh yeah. So many heroes you have produced in the years gone by. Great citizens who kept your flags flying high. Like Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw, he was your first premier. St. Daniel was another, he was a great leader. Eliman Bushkewit, Val Morris and the band of vibes contributed with sweet music and kept things alive. You can't forget Kendrick Georges, who wrote your national anthem. And Tim Collins, you
track and field champion. Oh, St. Kitts the best. I really love you back. You're so rich in history, from nothing to glory. St. Kitts the best. I really love you bad, progress never ending. You keep on transcending. I love you. Every day you keep climbing. I love you. Like the sun you keep shining. I must confess, believe what I'm saying is true. I think it's a leaving. I love you.
Oh yeah.
I love you.
St. Kitts neighbors. Love every time.
Patriots. Love up your country.
The main green, Glen Green. Love of country.
Oh, land of beauty, with lovely beaches and clear white sand. Happy working people spread out across your land. You have come a long way since independence in 83. Dr. Kennedy Simmons helped to shape your history. Your hard-working people have been your driving force, working hand in hand to keep you on course. To me you are so special, and I want the whole world to know that my love for you I would always show. Oh, St. Kitts the best.
Oh yeah.
I really love you back. You keep on transcending. Every day you climbing.
St. Kitts the best.
I really love you bad, sweeter than honey. Oh, what a great country. I love you. Your people and this culture. I love you. Always happy together. I must confess, believe what I'm saying is true. I said it's on me, babe. I'll die for you. I'll die for you. Oh, we'll love, we'll love, we'll love. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. The sound of the man Green Day out of the Taba area, Lovers Lane. The Lovers Bar there. They said Sister Isla there. They run it bar in Lovers Lane. Check her out. That's her brother there, Brother Green. Enough food and drinks on that end. Good evening, Sister Isla. Hope all is well with you. I'm gonna drop this track by my boy King Freddie. And this one is coming from the Poor Man. This one is called Poor Man. Freddie out of Fountain, Nevis. And you know, we're gonna be doing some Calypso tents in Nevis next month, you know. When these guys come in, we're going across to Cabo, we're going across to Loretta at Cultural Bar. We're gonna do some tents with King Freddie, the Mighty Pat, and Glen Green. Whoever is want to join in, they can join in. But the Mighty Pat, Glen Green, and the King Freddie, we're going across to Cultural Bar, give some support to Sister Loretta, and across to the King Miko. Sorry. Miko is on my mind. I have not seen him in a bit, and I have to visit Miko as well. But we're going across to Cabo, and we also want to do something by my boy, the Mikey Slack by the Bakery. So take a listen to the man, King Freddie. This one is called The Poor Man.
This song is dedicated to those who have money and think their riches lies in the money that they have. Some people believe if they have money, they on top and they're better than you and me. The cash and assets that they possess makes them better than the rest. Some just look down on others because they're poor. The plight of the unfortunate, they ignore. Some have enough cash to buy anything, but they totally But if you have money in large quantity and you don't have love for humanity, you're a poor man. You're a poor man. Oh, you could be rich like an Arab prince from Dubai, but you're hateful and spiteful, I wouldn't lie. You're a poor man. You're a poor man. You could have enough money to pull up a ditch. I tell you, money don't make you rich. You're a poor man. Oh yeah. A very poor man. Oh. We all need money to live every day, but without it, we cannot see a way. There's a line separating the rich from the poor. Some don't know what they're living for. Some may be enjoying financial bliss, but they're miserable and they can't find true happiness. Because they lack morals and integrity. All they cast is in living in poverty. But if you have no ethics and your morals low, you're a poor man. I want you to know you're a poor man. You're a poor man. Oh, if you lack honesty and loyalty, truthfulness to you is the enemy. You're a poor man. You're a poor man. With all these values, it is plain to see. With all your cash, you're living in poverty. You're a poor man. A very poor man. Way. It is easier for a camel to walk through the eyes of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the gates of heaven. If a man is rich and he be secure, in other words, he could be very poor. If he don't have the love of his family and lacks integrity, there's a few things money cannot buy. And those with money do not realize money is not what makes a man wealthy, but it's things like compassion, love, and being healthy. But if you have no respect for the fellow man and will cheat another to get the upper hand, you're a poor man. Oh, yeah. You're a poor man. Oh, you will step on others so you could rise with money. You don't compromise, you're a poor man. You're a poor man. You could have enough cash to buy out a store, but in human relations you're very poor. You're a poor man. A very poor man. Way. What shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world and lose his own soul? Yes. Steve Jobs created Apple computer, died of pancreatic cancer. On his dying bed, he says, cherish your family every day. He said, material things don't matter at all. You must appreciate each other, whether big or small. Exercise, live good, and always eat healthy, and educate your children, not for wealth, but to be happy. And if you listen to the last word that he said, use it as a template to live day by day. Don't be a poor man. Don't be a poor man. Safeguard your life, friends and family. Educate yourself by being healthy. Don't be a poor man. Don't be a poor man. Kindness, good health, love and honesty are some of the things that make us wealthy. Don't be a poor man. Don't be a poor man.
Sounds of the King Freddie there, out of Queen City, Nevis. This one is called The Poor Man. You know, tonight I'm only dropping one track of each of the artists as time is upon us. And overtime, and you guys know, I don't like to go past my 2-hour shift, but my boy Ivor there in Florida, I'm pretty sure he's enjoying this because he loves to see this overtime business. Let's drop this track from the Mighty Pat. This one is called Help the Government. And all of these three guys are going to be participating in the Sugar Mass 52 coming up in December. So get your Kaiser years together and be ready for some serious competition on stage.
Bamba de badam bambi, we da 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 de hoa. One love. The election is over and the masses have spoken. They have chosen a government that could move these islands along. But they got some carry come, bring come, who still carrying on the campaign. Because they didn't vote for this government, they think that the mass is insane. So they do anything in their power to make sure these islands don't prosper. They can't wait until next election to say I had tell you so, my friend, that is wrong. You only keeping these islands down. We got to help the government. After all, it is all of us that they represent. We got to stop the fussing and fighting, cause it ain't getting us no way. Get rid of our hatred and anger, look forward to a brighter day. Let us think about children's future. They coming up and we going down. Remember, if this boat turn over, is everybody gonna drown? Check your position, cause to stifle progress is wrong. Wrong. We da 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 dee da 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 no. Yeah man, Kaiso. Listen. Some of us are one-sided that we can't see the other side. The truth standing right in front of us, covered with selfishness and pride. So we go on TV and talk show, spreading rumors and propaganda, saying how the government failing, when in our hearts we know it ain't so. They'll be the first one to come and tell you that they cheat in the election, just because their party didn't make it. The winning party, they want a bun singing a sad song and keeping these islands down.
Oh yeah.
We got to help the government. After all, it is all of us that they represent. We got to stop the fussing and fighting, cause it ain't getting us the way. Get rid of our hatred and anger, look forward to a brighter day. Let us think about children's future. They're coming up and we going down. Remember, if this boat turn over, is everybody gonna drown? Stop singing a sad song, cause to stifle progress is wrong. Wrong. Ooh, da 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 dee da 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 do. Yeah. No man is an island, and that we know for sure. If we all work together, we could accomplish a whole lot more. Remember, without cooperation, you could never get nothing done. Be careful how you light a fire, cause you might end up getting burned. Some people don't want to put in nothing, but they want to take out everything. Remember, rewards with labor could make you a queen or a king. Check your position and stop keep the island down. We got to help the government. After all, it is all of us that they represent. We got to stop the fussing and fighting, cause it ain't getting us no way. Get rid of our hatred and anger, look forward to a brighter day. Let us think about children's future. They're coming up and we going down. Remember, if this boat turn over, is everybody gonna drown? Check your position, cause to stifle progress is wrong. Wrong. We got to help the government. Oh yes, we got to help the government. Yeah. Whoa. Da. Come on. Let a helping hand. Thank you.
Yes, the sound of the mighty Pat there. That one is called Help the Government. Guess what? We have a new release tonight as well, you know. You all think me boy Ken Teasy can come out with a hot one for Sugar Mass 52. And this one is called Hot to Handle. Yes, releasing tonight. Lord Ken single. This one is called Hot, Very Hot to Handle. And you know, my folks, my good people, I see you guys having some fun there with Sweetness Hudson and Lion. You have all your fun, you know, but you don't get any heart attack or any stress. You know, people are allowed to give their opinion and say what they want to say. Somebody sing a song, it takes two to make the things go right. It takes two to make it out of sight. But my grandmother used to tell me it takes two to fight. It takes two to tango. So if you all want to engage with Sweetness Hudson, that is fine. The action is good online. Keep it going. As long as at the end of the day, none of you drop down from heart attack. Because I'm jamming my music while you all doing your thing, eh? So this one is coming from Lord Kent, Brother Kent.
You hot. You hot. You hot. Hot, hot, hot. Burning. She come in the pet looking hot and sexy. The woman whining and shaking she body. Woo! Telling the men and them they can't test she. She big and bad, ain't fade nobody. Suddenly she send a signal to me to come on over and party. When I start to jam it, she ball, oh gosh, Mr. Kenty, take it easy. I never know you could jam a woman so. She say you're too hot to handle, too hot to take. You're too hot to handle. Lord have mercy, please give me a break. I does only walk and whine and shake up me behind. I does only want me mouth to check the men them out. I does only shake the thing, cause I know people watching. But honestly speaking, I really can't take a thing. She say you're too hot to handle, too hot to take. You're too hot to handle. She said, Mr. Kennedy, if you jam me too hard, I'll break. Oh gosh. Listen, girl, you got to be joking. When you walk and when your whole body smoking. Oh gosh. See you on the street or inside the party. The men does be balling out, Lord have mercy. But I can't believe you are such a fake. The way you crying, you can't do nothing. I decide to show her a trick or two. That's when she tell me, Kenty baby, the other men can jam the soca like you. Because you're too hot to handle, too hot to take, too hot to handle. Lord have mercy, please give me a break. I does only walk and whine and shake up me behind. I does only want me mouth to check the men them out. I does only shake the thing, cause I know people watching. But honestly speaking, I really can't take a thing. She say you're too hot to handle, too hot to take. You're too hot to handle. She said, Mr. Kennedy, if you jam me too hard, I'll break. Oh gosh, you hot like
fire. You hot. Hot like pepper. You hot. Hot like lava. Can't be why you burn in the area. Hot like fire. You hot. Hot like pepper. You hot. Hot like lava. You hot. 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 You hot. You hot. 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 You hot. You hot. 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 Because you're too hot. Too hot to handle. Too hot to take. Too hot to handle. Lord have mercy, please give me a break. I just only walk and whine and shake up me behind. I just only run my mouth to check the men them out. I just only shake the thing cause I know people watching. But honestly speaking, I really can't take a thing. She say you're too hot to handle. Too hot to take. You're too hot to handle. She said, Mr. Kennedy, if you jam me too hard, I'll break. Oh God, you hot like fire. You hot like pepper. You hot like lava. Can't be why you burn in the area. Hot like fire. You hot like pepper. You hot like lava. You hot like fire. You hot like pepper. You hot like lava. Can't be why you burn in the area. Hot like fire. You hot like pepper. You hot like lava.
Lord Kent, you're very hot, my brother. Congratulations on your new release. Well, folks, as we're winding down, we're going to wind down with a couple of old tracks. This one is from the man Tamboro. This one is called Babylon a Chesai. We're going to drop this one. We're going to drop one from the Ayatollah, and we're going to be getting out of here right about now as we're in 1 hour overtime already. Brother Henry, Ivor Henry must be smiling in his seat and sipping on whatever he normally sips on. Good evening, Brother Eustace Hendrickson. How are you doing over there in the Houston area? Sister Joseph Buchanan, good evening. This one is Babylon a Chesai by the man Tambora.
Babylon a Chesai, but I shall be a lion like how I stay from the day I was born till now.
Like Mistral! This one for you.
Running from the day I was born, and I can't find a place to go. Worshipping a heathen god, and I can't seem to understand Jah. I said since I've been born I am running. Oh yeah, running from what and to who. And the crazy way of how life have been going. Said I might not be free till I'm through. Say they got me running, really, really running. I say Babylon won't give I a chance. You took away I culture, rob I of I wealth. So Joshua lick them and burn them for right.
Yeah,
and now I am seeing the light. Said I know what is wrong and what is right. Since I got to know who is Rastafari, I say Babylon can't even shine. And I'm determined to get peace of mind. Oh yeah, I got to be in front and not behind. And be the man that Jah want I to be. And not the fool Babylon has made of me. Oh, but they got me running, really, really running. got me running, really, really running.
Oh yeah.
Well, I say Babylon won't give I a chance. You took away I love and taught I how to hate. So Jah will lick and burn them and I can't wait. Oh, they got me running, really, really running. Babylon won't give I a chance. You took away I love.
Yes, that's the man, the late great Mapstick there. That one call they got me running. I want to say good evening to my brother there, the man Julian Pemberton, the fireman. I wonder if he's washing down in the building this evening on Nevis or he's in the Federation over here in St. Kitts, banging a 1 or 2. I want to big up brother Austin Williams. How are you doing, my brother? Hope all is well. How is Sister Laura doing? Good evening, Tamika. How are the folks there in Montserrat? Hope all is well with you guys over there. Rachel, Sarah, Bobo, and the crew. How about Sister Lynn? How are you doing? Hope all is well with you. You don't have to be dread to be Rasta. Sister Ann Farrell Smith, don't know if you're sleeping. Good evening, Sister Cora Bennett. Hope you made it to your destination safe. How about there, Tracy Powell? Good evening, Tracy Jeffers. Tracy Mason, hope all is well with you. Sandra, Millie, Yvonne, hope you guys are good. Yvonne Jeffers over there in the UK, hope all is well with you guys. Sister Yona, Sharon Smitten, hope all is well with you all. We're going to drop this track by the man, the King Ayatollah. This one is called 3 Long Years in the Wilderness as we celebrate the 3rd anniversary of this platform. It's 3 long years that we've been doing this thing, you know? The Ayatollah, the late great. Whip, whip, whip.
Diggy, 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 diggy. Diggy, 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 diggy. Whoop, boom, 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 boom. Whoop. Diggy, 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 diggy. Think it's people asking what happened to the king. For 3 years now the man ain't singing a thing. From a hero to a calypso maestro. You can't even make the final show. King Combis, Sakoti and Anastasia. They better move for I come to take over. 3 long years in the wilderness. 3 long years. Asking me fans them for forgiveness. 3 long years. Tonight I plan to rise up the ants' nest. I show the whole nation that I am the best. 3 long years. The sugar boy, this one the wacky soul. Ayatollah we know I'm cold. Oh Lord, Lord. 3 long years. Tell one the West Coast, I'm not suicidal. I just come to blow up the carnival. Oh God, God. I think I did die. Bim, 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 bim. Whoop. Diggy, diggy, diggy. Diggy, diggy, diggy. Me mother wonder when what happened to his son? How can I make it in the competition? She begging me to come with shit to Haiti to stop the drumbeat in Carnival City. Every year in the Calypso final show, the man don't care truck and bus and still come king of us. 3 long years in the wilderness, oh yes. All me money gone out the iron dress. But I'm so privileged to be blessed. Yes. Righteousness overcome wickedness. I lose me wife, plenty problem and strife, but I'm bouncing back tonight. When I hit the stage, I'm going on a rampage. Tonight I'm jumping out of me cage. Oh God, God.
The Ayatollah.
I go bang them.
Hey, you the same boy, boy.
Diggy, 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 diggy. Diggy, 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 diggy. After the other bow, Calypso is my first true love. So I have to win back the crown somehow. The committee throw me on the garbage heap, which is scary saying that committee must repeat. I agree that the mountain gonna be steep, but the kite so come this year I come to defeat. 3 long years in the wilderness, oh yes. Tonight I demanding my respect. All my fans them getting angry and vexed. I got to stop the junkie and partiness. The contender, don't need the prime minister. No one can tribute an Ayatollah. I ain't watching no face. I'm gonna set the pace. I'm walking down in Majesty Gate. Oh Lord, Lord. Diggy, 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 diggy. Bim, 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 bim. Whoop. Diggy, diggy. Diggy, diggy. The one song Calypso is a song from the Reed Wado. I want the judges to know I ain't walking away. I ain't care what nobody say. I'm backing up to convince any day. When I set this stage, I point another page. Boy, I jumping out of me cage. Tell contender, I need the director. No one can repeat an Ayatollah. Oh Lord, Lord. I think I did right. Diggy, 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 diggy. Diggy, diggy, diggy. Diggy, diggy.
The song of the late great, the man Ayatollah. The man say 3 long years. Well, it's 3 long years DJ Morrishaw been here doing the things. And whenever I'm in the Federation, my boy, Brother Powell there at the Island Purified Water, keep DJ Morrishaw hydrated. So I want to thank the staff there at the Island Purified Water in the Newton area for your continued support. I also want to thank one of my technicians there, one of my main technician. He's been working overtime for the past several months, the man Elvin Ellie. Partner, we have a lot of work to do. Tell the wife, you'll be in St. Kitts soon. We're going near over to Nevis to make sure that we straighten up that end over there. Queen City need our help, so we're going to have to spend some time in Queen City. We're going to come back home and do what we need to do to clean up the damage that was done. So my good people, as my girl Hazel, she's a very smart lady, you know. She realized I was going 3 hours tonight to represent the 3 years of service coming from this platform. And I could not do it, like I said, without my brother Ike, engineer out of Trinidad and Tobago, top-notch engineer. Thank you, brother Ike. Thank your family for allowing you the time to deal with me weekly. My nephew there, Glenville Lawrence, Brother Kendrick Williams, the man DJ Rabuka, Lincoln Hobson, aka the DJ Rabuka. You know, thank all you guys, the King Ronnie Rascal, EK, GQ, Curtis Crook, all of the folks that has been participating over the last 3 years. People like Boya Astafan, Sam Conda, Dr. Patrick Martin, my cousin there, Ira McMahon, the Big Lies, the Talk Puppy, the man DuPont, Carlton DuPont, Douglas Watley, name it. The Big JL, everyone that have contributed, the man Astro, Moe, you know, just want to thank all you guys from the quarantine stage, the King Sacro from the quarantine stage. I mean, while I was in quarantine, you know, the people that I talk with on a daily basis that keep me going was people like Lord Kent, Sacro, Timona, Kent, Austin Williams, cook my soup and bring it across. The King Astro, Lee from Nevis came across. Him and Maury bring my food and foods to make sure I was okay in the quarantine. The people, the man Pillar, the man Set Up. You know, a lot of too many names to call. Uncle, make sure you bring my coconut water across from Garvey's estate, the Millhouse Guest House. Everybody contributed. My cousin Gloria, Lynette, the man Twinkie, Albert Morris, Catherine Weezy, Mull, all of you folks that have contributed to keeping this pace going. Theo Clark, Sister Joy Clark, Mem, Bevis, Virgie, that bring my soursop and my mangoes and stuff, my sugar cake, that keep me going. It's too many names to call, but over the last 3 years, many of you, Sister Cora Bennett has been a core supporter of this program from day one. She said to me, Jeffrey, whatever you do, continue. You cannot stop at this point. Sister Rosita Pontine, Ione Mitchum, name it, Gloria Bristol. I mean, it could go on and on and on. The names are too much to call this evening. But I want to thank everybody. Jeffrey and Jeffers, just thank all of you for your continued support. We'll be back next Wednesday. I guess the Prime Minister got caught up. He was at the Stanley Frank's funeral earlier, and I could understand he's a busy guy, so he might have got caught up this evening. So whichever evening he's available, I might just come back and do a special with just the Prime Minister like I've done in the past. I don't have to wait until it's a Wednesday night to do it. As you know, this program, this broadcast is a paid broadcast, so I can go and bring come live at any time. So once the Prime Minister reach out to me and let me know when he's available, I'll just run with it, and you folks will be able. Next Wednesday, I'm scheduled to have the advisor to national security, Brother Rollins, the man Wussy, should be joining me next Wednesday. I look forward to that conversation. Wussy comes from a musical background, a military background. We have a long history in the music arena. We work together as judges for Sugar Mass road marches, for the road march competition. So we will be chit-chatting about a lot of things next week, and about national security, how he has been doing over the years, what plans he may have to improve national security here in terms of advising the Prime Minister on certain matters. And you know something, I realized that over the years, I've said it time and time again, we have politicians go behind their podium and they said to us in the diaspora, we want you to come back home and to contribute to your country, to the Federation, bring your knowledge home and help us. But for whatever reason, when that time comes where some of us may come back home and try to contribute, some of the citizens here, they act like you don't belong. You don't have a right to contribute. You don't have a right to say anything. Once you leave the country, you don't have any right to come back. But yet, when you're over there, you have a right to send the barrels. You got a right to send this and send that. You have a right to send cash. During the lockdown, many of them got the light bill paid from overseas. I raised funds and provided relief for several people. But some of these people here, they don't care about your knowledge and how much you know. All they care about is, it should not be you. It should be some foreigner. Only foreigners supposed to benefit in our country. But I'm not going to be any alien in this federation, you know. This is where I get my start. And I will continue to do my part to lift this country forward wherever I can. And when that time comes that I have done my part, then I can move on to the next thing. I've done a lot on the outside for other countries and other communities. I will be contributing in this community. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, not just St. Kitts and Nevis. I will continue to contribute. I'll continue to go across to my boy Cabo and enjoy my goat water, my fish and fungi, and my green banana. What fun we had on Saturday. And I want to thank Ralphie and Andy for joining me across there. My boy Alvan, as usual, make promise and don't show up. I got to have to call him out on that, because Alvan, you should know when it comes to DJ Morrishaw, when I see him doing something, it's done. So when you say you're traveling with DJ Morrishaw to Nevis, make the time. Whatever you got to do, drop it. My boy Django, same thing. If you're not sure you're going to travel, don't give me no impression that you all are coming. Because guess what? When we go by Cabo, we have a great time. Great camaraderie, everybody have a good time there. So I'm going to call it a night. It's about 8:21. One of the gentlemen online that I really want to show appreciation to is the man Thaddeus Deposwa. From day one, Thaddeus came online, and he's a man of his word. Thaddeus said, Mr. Morrishaw, I do not know you in person. I was a police officer back in the days in St. Kitts, and because of the former PAM administration, I had to leave St. Kitts. But whenever I come to St. Kitts, I have to buy you a drink. And last year, Brother Thaddeus came to St. Kitts and make sure he tracked me down, and we had a few drinks. So, Brother Thaddeus, love every time. Look forward to seeing you again in the not too distant future. In the meantime and between time, we're going to drop our unofficial national anthem of the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, the late great King Arrow. This one is called Arise. And as I bring this program to a close this evening,
your country dying and never lend a helping hand. Oh no! Would you see your children's future dwindling, creating much disillusion? Or would we watch on idly, disregarding our self-sufficiency? unification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Can your conscience be clear? Indulging corruption or misusing public office, being accused of unemployment and crimes, or disrupting a citizen's peace. Oh, my country in disharmony, separated politically. Hatred for a brother, cannot love each other. No, I say no, potato. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct our mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. So rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, that's the late great King Arrow, and that one will bring us to the curtain coming down and yet another successful program here on a Wednesday afternoon. DJ Morrishaw celebrating 3 years of broadcasting, and I look forward to continuing as far as the Almighty might let us go. Again, I want to thank my son there, Jeffroy Jr., over there in the LA area. Good evening, Sister Jazz. Hope all is well with you. Sister Gwyneth Morrishaw. How about Sister Beverly Morrishaw? Esther Hutchinson, Pastor there in the Tartola area, Makish and the kids. My brother there, brother called Morris. Sister Valencia, Avon Brown, the man Sour, Patsy Brown, Ralph, and Ma. Hope all is good with you guys there. Sister Eto, Etlin Cannoneer Blyden. Hope all is well with you and your N. I also want to touch my boy Miko again one more time. Good evening, brother Miko. Hope all is well on your end. I have been in need this a few times. Have not had the luxury to stop by and see you because when I come there, I have to spend some quality time. But I'll try and catch up with you in the not too distant future. My boy Clacky there, brother Claxton as well. I'll try to catch up with you guys. Brother Daniel there, the farmer. Hope all is well. My brother Glendale Herbert. Hope you're doing well. Hope all is well with your brother Cozier. I wonder if my boy over there think I forget him there. I'll be coming across there again to see you, my partner. I'm coming to look for you. We're going to sit down and have a serious conversation about what's transpiring in Nevis. I am trying to work out why Nevisians are sitting there and accepting the wrongs that are taking place there. If you're going to continue to be quiet, first they're going to change the rules in the court. They're going to change the rules in the cabinet or in the parliament or the NIA, whatever. Where you guys going to be soldiers, soldier club? You cross in the street and they walk on you. That's why you all want to be over in Nevis. Soldier club, why you all want to decide you all this thing. Patrice, we have to have a talk, a serious conversation, brother Patrice. What is transpiring in Nevis needs some urgent attention. So I need to speak to you and get your views on what's transpiring over there, brother Patrice. I'm going to give you a call. So if when I call you, you see my missed call, make sure you call me back. If you don't call me back, I'm going to blow you up next week on this program, Patrice. As a Nevisian, you need to stand up for Nevis. You're a former parliamentarian. You know the rules. You have the answers. So we need to talk. Good evening, Sister Cicely Tyson, Sister Cicely Brown, Pastor Brown and crew. Hope all is well over there. Patrice, you know, I'm just messing with you. You're my boy. You know, I'm just pulling your legs. Brother Joseph Parry, good evening. Hope all is well with you. My good people, God blessings on everyone. Thanks again for another successful evening. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday, same place, same time.